tweet.
Tweet.
I hope I pressed that right. I hope I tweeted it right.
Well, I see you live, so yay.
Hi, I am live.
Me. Hi. That's it. That's all you get from me.
Where's my tweet? Hello?
It's me. Hi.
Hey, it's working. I think it's working.
I found it. I retweeted it. We're good.
Hey, you did it.
All right. Speaking of
Also,
tweeting,
I'm probably one of the special person that still hasn't updated their app, so it still has the Twitter icon.
Dang, look at you. Every time I go to look for the Twitter app on my phone, I'm like, where is Twitter? And I'm like, oh fuck, it's X.
I know, it's so stupid. I hate it.
Speaking of Twitter, got some beef.
Got some biff.
Why is Elon fucktard Musk getting rid of the blocking feature?
Yeah.
That goes against everything people have worked so hard for in regards to creating safety tools on the internet.
Yeah, and because of that, if he ends up doing that, it's gonna be off the mobile platforms altogether because that breaks a lot of rules.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't miss my turn.
Anyway, I'm so upset with it. It makes me want to leave Twitter completely.
I mean, a lot of people are tweeting. It's like, can Twitter go a day without hurting itself? No.
No.
Like, it's literally 0 days since last hurt.
What makes me laugh too is about like the screenshot where that came out was that like it was Tesla, a Twitter account that made the tweet about it, and then Elon following up going like, yo,
oh no,
there's no purpose
apparently
for it.
It's a verified account of Tesla owners of Silicon Valley, like aka the elitist of elitists.
Yeah.
That who lives like probably 2 miles away from me.
Yeah. Go egg their building. I mean, what? No, I'm kidding.
I technically know where it is. I really do. It's literally the next city over for me. It's that close to me right now.
FBI, if you're watching this, you can't come get me because I'm in Canada.
I know.
Eat shit.
Oh my god, you just reminded me of the random tweet that I found from Elon. I was just like, I'm going to test out autopilot with
Oh, you
our
still have the ad breaks, Daryl?
Oh, yeah, that's still going on, huh?
Okay, well.
It's okay, at least the VOD actually does keep it.
Like, keep us talking and not show the ads?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so anything that we talk during ad break, if I put it as a VOD on YouTube or here, it's fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I only run pre-ads on YouTube anyways. I don't even know. What am I doing? Hey look, ad break starts in 3 minutes. What the fuck?
Your courier will be picking up your order. Thanks.
Oh boy, your courier.
What my 3 drinks and taquitos? Hell yeah!
I'm trying to say. I completely thought of the other things you said when you did your 7-Eleven order, and I was like, wait, no, you didn't order that. Good.
Oh, sorry. Should I do it fully Spanish then? I like, mis tres papitas, even mis taquitos. Mis taquitos and papitas. I finally went back on Duolingo today.
Yay.
I'm on a 1-day streak, baby. So hot, so fresh. Like these taquitos. I'm tired, but hey guys, hi.
Hi. No, yeah, I was trying to like kind of go back onto the thing because I remember, seeing a tweet from Elon's like, trying to fully test drive. This is so bad. Fully do automated driving from his office in Palo Alto or home in Palo Alto. I have no idea. To the offices or the house of Mark Zuckerberg. I'm just like, okay, just don't let your autopilot do shit because I'm commuting home right now.
Yeah. But what I was trying to do was actually start the stream over again by going, hi guys, hi, hello, we're here, we're live.
It's me, hi, yes. I don't know.
I was not the problem for us missing streams for once.
It was, you weren't, it was me. Hi.
So I'm not, it's, hi, I'm not the problem. It's me.
It's me. Oh shit, I can't go this way.
At tea time, Daryl smashes all the cars.
Yeah. I smash all the cars all the time. What are you talking about?
That's true, but I'm actually watching your stream for once this time, and I'm gonna just enjoy it.
I'm gonna try my best to actually
I
drive
should have
safely.
found alcohol, Daryl. That would have been fun.
I honestly thought you were actually going to.
No, I am like very. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm a little dehydrated.
Yeah, that's probably not the greatest thing. It's like you just like, oh, I'm gonna hydrate myself with alcohol.
Let's
Yeah, that's gonna be
not
the worst
get a
idea ever.
depressant and a dehydrant all
Yeah,
in one. That's not a good combo.
that's not a good combo at all.
So instead, if anyone wants to know, I got a vitamin water, the multi-V lemonade one, in fact.
Ooh.
I got the bubbly lime, hell yeah, and then I got Sprite. So, you know,
Bubbly.
two of those things are hydrating. One thing is just to give me enough sugar to keep me awake.
Ding. Okay.
And then I got taquitos because I needed to meet the minimum delivery.
But hey, it's a
Amount.
good almost midnight snack, so I can't complain.
Hey, taquitos.
As for me, I have my water in a small hydro flask because I finally decided to buy a hydro flask because fuck summer. Making my water warm after a couple hours of keeping it out of my desk. So using this, putting the cold water in here, it'll stay cold for like up to 24 hours. With no ice too, so it's like it's cold. And I also have like a big water bottle, oddly enough from 7-Eleven, in the fridge. Also,
A mythical Dregin just resubscribed for 31 months. Hey hi it me. MA problem
I
it's
thought that
me.
sounded beautiful.
I can't. That was really good. That was so funny. Thank you, Jagger, for the 31 months with Prime.
Yay!
My Filipino text-to-speech had a blast reading that one.
I knew
A little
it
bit
would.
fast, but it was so good.
Gosh, I wish I can like message Rebecca, but she's in the Bahamas right now because I was gonna tell her that I've had dynamite stuck in my head all day.
Oh, really? Oh my god, car, please.
Sunset bright left to my feet. High like the moon. Okay, I'm good. It was only that part that's in my head all day. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you see me flinching
Also, I gotta
around...
get caught up on some BTS people's solos.
Oh.
Yeah, V got a couple music videos out lately, and Jungkook has. Well, we watched the music video together, 7.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's been... Wow.
A month?
I know.
Oh man, what a month.
It's crazy. Then really, like between that a month ago when I was there in Canada and now, I've only streamed. This is the second time coming back streaming because a lot of things happen after the week after I last streamed.
Yeah, and I mean, even for me too. Like this month has been an incredible roller coaster.
Yeah, it's been a one interesting.
Not a fun
roller
one that
coaster.
you do at an amusement park ride. For me, it's more of like a okay, just kill me or please save me.
Those are two different extremes. You know that.
Yes. Trust me.
I mean, I understand it.
I know.
That's true. It's like I definitely do understand the your feeling for that because of yeah, we've gone through a lot of things, and but for the most,
Surprisingly, one thing has kind of brought you and I a little closer in like the silver lining of stuff. So.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you want to talk about. Oh, you almost went into a popo.
Almost. I have no idea how I'm gonna U-turn because this is the only way I can go through. What the fuck? Hello? I should have just went around.
Game? Just
All
a game?
right.
Oh, it's
All
Spain
right.
too. Lo siento.
Yeah.
España.
Oh my god. I'm only going 2 kilometers over the speed limit. Are you gonna keep getting me? Okay. Fine, let me do 2 kilometers. Oh my god, I actually have to go all the way around. This is so stupid. I'm tempted to do an illegal. Fuck it. Here we go.
Hey. What?
You're
doing illegal that way.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's gonna be dumb, but I'm gonna do it.
What are
Because
you
I'm not
delivering?
driving. I have no idea.
Calico? What is calico?
I'm traveling driving some beverages. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is just a fake brand. I believe. I think.
Probably.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Calico. I don't know. I didn't drink a lot of soda in Spain when I was there, so can't help you with that.
Right.
I drank a lot of vino. Vino and sangria. That was my two drinks of choice when I was in España. And all the free champagne I had on Christmas Day.
I forgot about that from your hostel.
Yeah.
Nice. What the fuck happened here?
Champagne.
Oh my god, there's actually a helicopter in there. Ooh, that's a bad accident. Alright, I'm going. Sorry, bus. Don't mind me. I'm driving stupid.
The police cars that are there are going to be like, sir?
Oh, I'm getting...
As you drove by.
Exactly. I'm being fined right now, so I'm just gonna drive on the freaking side of the road. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. This is alright. This is how I'm starting off my stream. Being a complete numbnut, driving on the highway the wrong direction.
Dick on the highway.
Yep. It's okay. At least I'm driving on this shoulder, and everyone can just avoid me. It's just true. That I have a long drive. Oh no, I don't. Hey, I got an exit coming up, so I can switch back.
Oh, there you go.
Alright, I'm at least that saved that much. But I will drive this in full speed now. But yeah, so there's been a lot of things that happened the past couple weeks between the both of us. And mainly for me, I've been, it's mainly my fault, honestly, for not streaming because...
Well, one thing wasn't per se your fault because it was a big thing that happened, but the other thing was you.
Yeah.
And me a little bit. Oh, fuck, that was K-Days, wasn't it?
It was.
Shit. So, well, okay, we're all at fault.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, I could have streamed another day for that one, but I wanted to go back home, and I didn't want to really stream that week. So it's like, all right, guys, I'm going to take another break. Don't mind me. Don't mind us. We'll be back next week. And then I wasn't back next week. So rolling it a little bit back. Work has been very interesting, to say the least. I'm going to bundle this up in like one-ish statement.
Okay.
Work, I would still say work has been work. But it's been interesting, to say the least. I've been getting more and more members, more and more new members into my team, so I get to... Ooh.
Oh man, Daryl.
I swerved, but I heard my wheel screech. That was weird.
Via de servicio. Via de servicio.
But yeah, I've been getting new members into my team, so now I'm like slowly helping them out,
right.
getting them back up to the norm, and then I'm gonna be doing their review starting next week. Truck, don't think about it. I'm merging over. But yeah, slowly getting acquainted with them as their team lead, and they've been pretty open to ask questions, all that stuff. So I was participating in some just random ass conversations, which is good. It's a good start, and I'm also going to be getting another team member here starting next week, so we'll also get them up to speed as well.
Oh, wow.
So now my team has grown to 10. I got 10 people under me.
From what, 6, I think, before?
Yeah, but 7.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah. There'll be a lot more people, and I think I may be able to get one more. We'll see how it goes. We only have like 2 more trainees left. We'll see from there. But yeah, everything has been, I'd say, a bit chaotic, because of some external stuff that has happened. Again, we'll get to it here momentarily, but also, new members, as well as, trying to clear our pipe, which we finally have done it. We finally hit the 0 ticket pipe queue in our system. Earlier this week, which is nice. It's gone back up to like 100, 200, but I'm hoping it's going to become a lot more manageable now. We will see when we come back Monday. So yeah, that's been great. We managed to hit that, so hopefully we can manage it all the way through for the next couple of weeks, months, all the way up to our new version of the software, which apparently our convention for our software is gonna occur in the second weekend of November. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. But at least will give us some time. Oop, I'm in the wrong lane. Oh, fuck it. We're good.
I wonder how loud my printer is gonna be right now. Fuck it.
We will know here momentarily.
I'm already low on toner and ink. Shit.
Oh, well, that's a good start.
Cool! I only have to print, 5 more things tonight, so we'll see how well this goes.
This is fine.
Everything's fine.
But yeah, so it's been exciting to just get through all of that. Oh my god, this is such a small turn. Oh my god, this is such a tiny turn.
Oh no.
Is your paper flying around?
No, I just somehow it's trying to print on 5 pieces of paper at once.
Oh, it's one of those where all the paper got stuck together.
Yes.
Oof. I know
Love
that
that for
feeling.
me. I might break my printer before I even get a chance to use it. Doing so good tonight.
Good printers, good.
Oh no, it's okay. No, it's not. It's fine.
I didn't hear it. We're good. Hey,
that's good.
Good drive on this part. So yeah. Oh my god, this is some glaring sunset. Hello. Oh, I can't drive this part.
No, I wanted to double. Fucking. Okay, whatever. Guess I'm not gonna get double-sided printing today.
Oh, your printer can do
Life.
double-sided?
Huh?
Your printer can do double-sided?
Yeah, it prints out one paper and then you put it back on the top and flip it over and it prints on the back side normally, but it's not doing it this time, so.
Oh, it's just like, nope, all 5 sheets it is.
Actually, wait, see how bad this toner and everything is. No, it's okay. They can still read everything, that's all that matters.
If it's legible, it's fine.
Kind of.
Oh, I need to get on to the side. So it's been a little bit chaotic. I still have to now get through a mountain of reviews now. I'm back to review season again. So I'm gonna be doing all the reviews for the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be great. Be a little bit hectic for me, but I'll be ready for it. But yeah, no, work has been pretty good, pretty productive. Can't wait to do more work as we go by, sort of thing. Kickstart a couple of my side projects. I've been meaning to kickstart a little bit before, but I'm glad that we kind of killed the queue, so now I could kickstart it hopefully next week. For preparation for our new service, our new software, and all that stuff. So it's gonna be great. So that's pretty much for work. In terms for life, so 2 weeks ago, I wanted to go back home to visit La Familia and also celebrate one of my friend's birthdays. So if you've seen on Twitter of the very disappointing singing of Happy Birthday, or my very stupid singing of Happy Birthday, you know. But yeah, I went back that weekend, so I didn't do the stream. Plus, Dragon was at K-Days for Friday, so I said, nah, we'll cut it off for this week, since I was already exhausted on Thursday, and I'm planning to go back home on that Friday. So, axed off Truck and Talk for that weekend, or for that week, and had a pretty chill weekend, hanging out with the parentals, going to the casino, losing some money. Oh well. But just having a nice relaxing time. Felt weird after so many weeks of just always adventuring on a weekend, whether it's somewhere too far or somewhere pretty close. I ended up, just being back at home felt so nice, because it's I didn't have to get out too much, or I'm kind of forcing myself to stay home. Which was quite nice, because then it's okay, forced relaxation, and I didn't know I needed that. It felt really good, just to relax in my bed, watch YouTube videos and all that stuff, take a lot of naps, and whatnot. So it was pretty nice. And then I was about to get ready to work on Monday, and it was really interesting, to say the least, because that night before, for whatever reason, I had a hard time going to sleep, and throughout the night, I just had a hard time going to sleep in general. I was like, my brain, like this time, like my brain was always awake the whole time. I could, for whatever reason, can't go to deep sleep. Couldn't like dream because I still have the power to still dream, which is crazy, but it's still nice. Like, but I for whatever reason, my brain was just like wired awake, and I don't know why. Like, I know for the fact I was gonna work tomorrow, like work the next day. Even, I mean, sure, I came home a little bit late from the disappointing birthday party, but at the same time, it's like, it shouldn't be too bad. Like, I'll get a couple hours of sleep, maybe start a little bit late at work, and I should be fine. But for whatever reason, yeah, my brain was just wired awake. Everything was quiet in the house, and whatnot, but just could not go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember finally my brain decided to like relax and rest, but this was already at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And then I was like slowly awake, sleepy-ish. Like I was just like immensely tired. And then my mom came into my room, and it was interesting because like I could kind of hear her, and I was like, I'm just like, oh, that's a car. It's like I'm just like slightly awake still. I'm like a little bit awake, but I'm still sleepy as heck. But I'm just hearing my mom saying, it's like, hey, are you awake? It's like, yeah. If you can't wake up, because I'm gonna need you to buy me a ticket back to the Philippines. And I'm just like, oh, okay, interesting. And then my mom asked me, did you hear the news? It's like, no. And she broke the news that unfortunately my grandma, who was 95 years old and 8 months, has peacefully passed away. So that was an interesting moment to wake up to, but also I don't know if it felt like it was a massive coincidence as to why I couldn't sleep at all. I don't know, maybe I could have some weird spiritual power that I just feel something is going wrong when I can't sleep. Because usually if I can't sleep, I always have like this little bit of like adrenaline of like where my brain just cannot go to sleep for whatever reason. This usually happens before like a big trip or before something big is going to happen. So just like I'm sensing something is happening and I don't know what it is. And then yeah, so I heard, my mom broke the news for that. Apparently that this all happened around like 2:30 in the morning. My bad.
That almost sounded Halloweeny scary. Holy shit.
I know it did, because I was trying to control my truck and I was already swerving. I was like, uh-oh, this is not good. So I'm just like,
Damn.
control. So yeah, no, this happened like around like 2:30 in the morning my time. I guess they were all in a call like prior to then. Apparently, like the last update they had is like they just brought they picked up my grandma back from the hospital because I guess there's been some complications are already occurring, and she was brought back home, and then there was like more complications coming in when she was at already back at home. So one of my aunts tried to help her out, try to see what's going on, grab like the status and everything. And I guess that's when my mom woke up, all the aunts woke up and all that stuff, got on a messenger call, and then apparently when my mom like brought in like the oximeter, I believe, so to measure the percentage of oxygen still in the system, it was already like by the time she checked my grandma's body for that, it was already at like 64%. And then my mom, like, as with her nursing skills and everything like that, she declared it as good as like dead, like passed away. So by the time I woke up, they were already in the planning stages of like getting everyone over to Manila, where she was, and trying to like get everything ready for the funeral, the wake and the funeral. So for those who want to like view my grandma one last time in her peaceful rest, they can send prayers and all that stuff. Yeah, and then during that morning, I was just like, okay, well, this happened. Like, my mind was just like, okay, well, this happened. I don't know if I can work, because I know for the fact, one, I'm going to be kind of inundated with this, and two, I'm just not feeling it. Like, I really am not feeling it. Again, probably a massive coincidence that I just couldn't sleep. Because I really had nothing else in my system that would just keep me wired and awake. I was pretty much dead tired when I got back home. But for whatever reason, my brain just did not want to go back. Did not want to go to sleep. So, I messaged my manager and says I'm gonna take a day off, day of bereavement, due to a passing, and he consult the best as he can through Discord messages, because we use Discord, and just say to not worry too much. And say, all right, and then just say, everything needs to be said, and I just let him know. I sent out my request, and I was like, okay, taking the time off. I'm gonna take the time off to just relax and think about just the good times with my grandma and whatnot. And also, I missed the freaking turn for the repair shop. Great. I don't know where the nearest repair shop would be. Shit. So I did that. And then I helped out my mom trying to get her ticket, trying to figure out what date she needs to fly and all that stuff, as well at the same time trying to figure out what she needs to postpone or cancel, because literally the week the week after this all happened, she was supposed to have jury duty, but obviously she's going to she's planning to go back home because of all this. So she tried to no worries. She requested a postponement for her jury duty because of all this, and luckily the county gave the option to do that, which is good. And yeah, so she has her postponement, and then all the other appointments they had for like the next couple weeks were all postponed or canceled, based on what they could find the time for. If not, just cancel it altogether. I'll find a different time when she comes back. Go through all that, and then after that, I asked her what days she wants to go. She told me she wanted to leave as soon as possible, which makes sense. She really want to be there, helping out and give like the peace of mind sort of thing for everyone, and still grieve. This is a turn. And so yeah, like I ended up taking the day off, just relaxing, just trying to help out my mom as much as I can, giving her like all the the thoughts and prayers and whatnot. And then just being like at least a word of mouth or word of like advice, just like, hey, if you want to get going, we should probably just head back towards the Bay Area with your bags packed, so you could once we get the flight, it's all good to go, so you can just fly out. Unfortunately, I couldn't fly out because I don't have the vacation hours for it, which is unfortunate, but I'm a bit glad to still meet up with her one last time during the Christmas, last Christmas and last New Year. So yeah, the feelings were, I wouldn't be lying. I'm not lying saying that I was, sad. I'll miss her, sort of thing. But at the same time, I was able to console myself for saying that, hey, I still managed to find the time to visit her one last time. Just seeing her, it's just like, yeah, there's like a lot of complications, all that stuff. But again, she lived a really good, healthy life as much as she could up to her final months, final days, and all that stuff. So, lucky she passed away peacefully rather than a sudden thing. So, hopefully everything is good. I feel like I'm gonna get to know a little bit more about the situation because I wanted to ask my mom more about it, but obviously it's not like the right time to ask for it. So I'll ask when she comes back, hopefully, or whenever we find a time to just ask again. Whew. Something in my mail. So yeah, I immediately told my mom, was like, hey, if you want to just get ready and go, just pack up now. And then we all head towards the Bay Area. So then when we get your flight, you'll just head over. It's as simple as that. So we did that. My mom packed up as best as she can, as fast as she can. And then once my mom was all packed up, once I was all packed up, we all got in the car. Both my mom and dad and I got in the car and just headed back to the Bay Area. And then from there, we just relaxed for the rest of Monday. Towards Monday night, we found the time to finally book her flight. So we ended up booking for like 2 days later at Wednesday. She left like at Wednesday morning, and then she'll be coming back about 6 weeks later. I don't know. From what I'm hearing that she is now regretting staying for another 6 weeks because she was already there for 6 weeks just like a month before. So she's trying to figure out what to do for the next 6 weeks. It's like, well, you told me you wanted this. You told me you told me you wanted this 6 weeks rather than like 4 weeks or anything like that. So so she's gonna be there up till, I believe, mid to late, I think the 3rd or 4th week of September. So I remember it's about 6 weeks. Can't remember the end date per se, but got all that booked, which was surprising because this was like 2 days before, right? For a Wednesday mid-afternoon flight. The prices were still reasonable for a round trip ticket. So my mom ended up scoring a deal 2 days before, which is actually not too bad. Got that all booked. Got like finalized the packing, and then we just waited until Wednesday till that came around. In the meantime, my brother was coming back from Chicago. Apparently he went to Lollapalooza, saw some watched a couple of like concerts and whatnot during that festival. I try to remember the acts and my brain is giving me nada, so feel free to search up Lollapalooza 2023 for all the main acts.
I know an act that was there, and I wonder if you saw them.
Which one?
It's just a guy named Talk, like Talk.
I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I think
They performed at Pride Day K-Days.
Ah.
And their next biggest thing was Lollapalooza.
Oh, really?
Like right after.
Nice. Yeah, because I remember, K-Days and like Lollapalooza, I think was like, the difference was like 1 week. It was 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week.
Because K-Days was the week before Lollapalooza. I remember that. Like on all the timings.
Yeah, so if you guys want to hear a phenomenal singer, that's the band Talk.
T-A-Alk. Okay, Daryl.
Talk.
T-A-Alk. Hey, look at the repair shop. Going to the repair shop. So, yeah. My brother just came back from Chicago, and I know for the fact that my brother has more of like a deep connection with my grandma, especially since my grandma took care of him in his first 10 years of his life. About 10 years. Mainly because when my mom gave birth to him, it was when they were still back in, it's not Egypt.
Didn't you say Lebanon, I think?
No, not Lebanon.
No.
Libya.
Okay, one of the L's. I knew it was one of the L's.
It was one of the L's. And I was like, thank you for saying the L. I was like, what's the other one? I know it's an L. So they, like, my parents were still working at Libya as a overseas worker. And I guess in their compound, they're not able to take care of him well enough. So my parents ended up sending him back to the Philippines, where my grandma and my other aunts ended up taking care of him for his first 10-12 years. So basically, she was the person, like, helped him grow up for the good 10 years. Like, wherever she goes, my brother apparently went with as well. So, Car, really? Idiot. So my brother has definitely a bigger connection to my grandma than me. Unfortunately, his last time he went to the Philippines was back in like 2019. I don't believe he went to the Philippines anytime between then. So, and the one thing I couldn't tell is like the emotion sort of thing that occurred, that he may have felt about it. But I know I'm pretty sure like the emotions will probably run a lot higher for him, compared to me, especially considering all the events and all that stuff. So he tried to at least get extra time off, because he already took a vacation going to Lollapalooza, so it was going to be a stretch for him to see if he can take another emergency leave and fly to the Philippines and be there on those days. So, but somehow they managed to give him some days off, to fly over, and that's a far ride. To fly over to the Philippines and then be there. He's already back since last night. No, since yesterday morning. But yeah, he flew out. Once he got the time off approved and all that stuff, he flew out Wednesday, just a couple hours after my mom. And yeah, he was there for like a couple days up to this past Thursday, like Thursday morning. And yeah, so in that case, my mom went over. She's gonna be there for the next 6 weeks. Yeah, I'm good. I just want to be quiet about this because I don't know, because he is here. My door is like slightly open, sort of thing. But yeah. Oh God, where's my turn? Is this my turn? Oh, I missed it. So yeah, he went back and all that stuff. Tuesday, not much happened. I did go back to work. Try my best to like at least do some work, because at least with bereavement you could take it separately. My workplace was able to give about 2 days, no questions asked sort of thing, and then I could take another additional 3, but I have to use my time off. So it's like, okay, I'm going to try to use this a bit strategically. I'll try to go back to work, try to distract myself a little bit, since there was like, we pretty much planned everything out on the Monday. Tuesday I just wanted to like distract myself, and just go to work, try to focus. I knew for the fact on that Tuesday, I wasn't me. I wasn't my weird cheery old me, I guess, sort of thing. I was definitely just I was just quiet, focus, and just like try to do something. Not gonna lie, at least for those few days, from Monday onwards, I just was in deep thinking for the most part. Like, again, like the feelings of sadness is real, like during that time. But usually how I express like sadness and sorrow is just staying quiet. I'm just that kind of person. I will, if needed, the emotions will feel and come out. But outside of that, I'm mostly gonna just stay quiet, just stay thinking, sort of thing. Just in a solemn but like very deep thinking moment. And I definitely went into full deep thinking of more of like just like the past memories with my grandma. They were like a little bit limited, but I still managed to meet her quite a few times throughout my life, sort of thing. So I saw like still have those memories, whether from like being in New York or in the Philippines with her. Um, and then after, just like really reliving the past. And then at the same time, just trying to think of like, my parents are about to come to that age too in like 20-ish years, 25 years. You can see how old my parents actually are, comparatively. But I'll be experiencing that in like the next 25 years. And I realize now that 25 years can go pretty quickly, considering that I'm almost 30. Like 20 years can go quickly if you don't catch it, sort of thing. And it made me think of like, man, what do I really want to do? What do I still need to achieve? Sort of thing. Mentally, this is just like very subjective to me. None of these goals are objective. All of these goals are definitely subjective to me, and how I perceive it. But I just wanted to see like, what else do I need to achieve to not only make myself content internally, but also like, provide like that little achievement to like my parents as well. Because I'm pretty sure like where I'm at right now, it's like I honestly didn't expect I was going to be here. To be fair, being able to hold a pretty decent job, and from time to time still be able to stream and do some random shit, really. But I feel like, again, there's still a lot of other things I still want to do. There's still a lot of things I still want to experience, whether it's with myself or whether it's with someone else or whether it's with my parents. I want to still like do something to make the most out of it. Not only, again, I don't know, for myself, but also my parents as well. So I was definitely deep in thought for those couple of days of just really trying to figure out, like, what do I really want to do in my life? I'm kind of glad I'm in the position where it's like I'm in like distraught about it. I'd say compared to like before. Should you recall any past drunken talks, I may have like kind of pondered around with that thought, but now it's more of like I know I need to do more. I just don't know what, and what kind of goals would that be? Like I know I need to set them, but they're all going to be subjective to me in terms of how I want to do it, what I want to do with it, sort of thing. But I just want to do something, just to make the most out of it. So, and in ways I may not share it here per se. Like there'll be some goals that I probably will share from time to time, but I think like some of the goals that I was thinking about during this time was very, very like very personal stuff, sort of thing. So I'm probably not gonna be ready to share that just yet. I'm just gonna let the time come to talk about it more. So yeah, Tuesday I was like in deep thought, going to work, kind of working, and then going back home, sort of thing. It was a very like just quiet time for me. Was not ready to like tell a lot of people about it, outside of my manager, and the only other person I've told like outside of work was Dragon. Still haven't told my friends about it, so if you're watching this now, you know why. I was back in the Central Valley last week. But there's like more to that point coming up. So yeah, Tuesday I was just on that deep thought thinking, just want to like really think, basically. Can ask for help from someone in the same boat in age to aka you. Yeah, again, thank you for being there, definitely. Then Wednesday came around. My mom's flight was like around like in mid-afternoon, but we got to the airport pretty early in the morning. On that for that Wednesday, I also took another day of bereavement, again, just to help out my mom get through stuff and just really take the time to just distract myself. So we did that. Luckily, no issues per se. There was like one fun incident where, okay, all but one issue technically. Staying quiet for all the feels. Good job, bud. Yeah, you're doing great, better than he thinks you are. Yeah, I feel like I've in a sense, I'm coming back to my normal sort of thing, like my normal weird me. This past week, so I'm glad I'm like able to rebound out of it, sort of thing. But again, it will still always be there, of just like, cherishing the memories. Granted, I'm always the person that always like to cherish memories and that's the engine button. And think of like some things that I want to do, sort of thing. So, oh my god, can I do this right? There we go. But yeah, there was this one fun incident that happened at the airport, where one of my aunts coming from Minnesota was also flying to the Philippines, and they were connecting in San Francisco. So they were thinking they're gonna meet like pre-security, because we were thinking that maybe she would need to go out of security and come back in to recheck her bags. And then with that, I was like, maybe they'll just meet up together, eat, talk, and whatnot. Two issues. One, they were in different terminals. Unfortunately, my mom's flight ended up flying out of the different terminal in San Francisco airport compared to my aunt's. And secondly, my aunt never had to get out of security and actually just stayed post security, because I guess her whole flight itinerary went all the way straight to the Philippines, so she didn't have to like recheck for security, recheck her baggage or anything like that. Everything was cleared and good to go. So literally what took about 10-15 minutes on a messenger call trying to figure out where the heck she is, and then finally telling her, hey, can you show where you are, just pan the camera around, and then had that sudden realization that, oh shit, she is already cleared security, so yeah, you're not going to meet her with her sort of thing. We managed to clear that up after like literally 10 minutes of trying to figure out where the heck she is. So that was a fun slight drama encounter, but it was funny nonetheless. But outside of that, check-in went smoothly for my mom. We were able to clear out. We had like just a short breakfast over there at the airport, and then we just said our goodbyes at security, and then yeah, we just watched her off. Like apparently she managed to clear security really quickly, which was surprising for like a midday at the international gate, because on the other side of the international gates it was like a 10, 15, 20 minute wait. On her side it was like literally a 1 minute wait, and she was able to get her papers checked and went through security and literally cleared it in 5 minutes. I'm just like, that was like the most seamless security experience I've ever seen, like in like a long while. So she managed to clear it out, and then we just kept updates along the way of just like when she was about to board flying, as well as when she touched down at Taipei, then from there fly out of Taipei towards Manila, and just got updates along the way from there. As for me and my dad, who are now left after dropping off my mom, we ended up going towards the Great Mall in San Jose to just do a little bit of shopping. My dad wanted to buy some shoes, so just like, okay, this would be a good way to just distract ourselves. Again, since I already took a day off, it's like day of bereavement. It's like, all right, I'm going to use this to distract myself, try to get out of the deep thinking, and just have a nice quality bonding time with my dad. And we did manage. So we just ended up just riding the train all the way down towards Milpitas, doing a couple of transfers along the way. Managed to get there, and then we just had a nice slow walk around the mall. To note, Great Mall is a pretty big mall, not as big as West Edmonton Mall, but still a pretty big mall nonetheless. So we took some time, considering my dad's age, like he can't really walk too fast or too long. So we just took our time walking around the mall. We went to a couple of stores. First, we went to the Nike store because my dad really likes Nike shoes. It's like, okay, we'll see if we can find anything there. He did find one, and I managed to snag a pair too, which is like, well, I didn't expect to buy shoes, but here I am. And I already have a lot of shoes to begin with. We ended up getting lunch at the food court. And then, because it was like a warm day, I mean, to be fair, this year's summer, it's just been warm and muggy, and I just hate it. But since it was going to be a warm day back at where I live right now, I just told my dad, it's like, hey, we should just go back later in the day when it's starting to cool down, so we don't have to suffer in the house that doesn't have good AC or central air. So we ended up just staying in the Great Mall for a little bit longer. I ended up going to a Dave & Buster's arcade and played arcade games the whole time. The one fun part was it was half off Wednesdays, so all the games were half off, and I just ended up filling up like a card filled with credits, and I just played games for like the next 2 hours. And not gonna lie, even though I wasted a little bit of money on that, it did help me stay distracted. Oh god, that card just went down. It kept me distracted the whole time through, just thinking about other things, so it's I guess one good thing. I ended up redeeming, funnily enough I do have it here, I ended up redeeming some of my tickets. I still have like a bunch of tickets stuff on my card. That's how you could tell how much of a big gambler at arcades I am. But jokingly, I managed to get a Dave & Buster's shirt that just says, I guess, winner?
Nice.
Winner. I need to get it washed though. But it would be funny to like wear I should just wear this shirt tomorrow. Because I wanted to go back to the arcade ever since going to an arcade that last week. I should just wear this shirt to the competing arcade round one, and just to see what kind of reaction I would get. It'd be the most stupidest thing I'd ever do, but I want to do it now.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I redeemed that first shirt. I also redeemed some like PlayStation coasters, which is really cool. It's just the face buttons of the PlayStation things, logos. Basically, trying my best to drive while showing this. So yeah. And yeah, we managed to take my dad ended up just chilling, resting, looking around while I ended up playing games, I guess. And yeah, we did that for I did that for like a couple hours. Finished out all my credits and redeemed that. Still have a bunch of tickets left, so the next time I go to any Dave & Buster's, I'll at least have tickets. Then from there, we ended up walking back around. We ended up doing a little bit more shoe shopping, and ended up at another store where, actually, ended up in a Timberland store. And I remember finding these casual, mid-high shoes from them. I wouldn't say they're boots. They're not really boots. They kind of look like it, but they're not. But I found them in black, and I'm just like, wait, I need this. And then so I ended up like finding the right size for it, and then I ended up buying a pair. So now I have 2 extra pairs of shoes, one from Nike, one from Timberlands. And I'm just like, why did I buy all these shoes? Kind of blame my dad though, because he wanted to do shoe shopping, and then I just ended up doing it the same thing as well. Surprisingly, he also ended up buying a pair of shoes over there as well, so I guess it all worked out. And then from there, we ended up buying some Jollibee because there was Jollibee right when we were exiting, so it's like, oh, let's just get that for dinner. And it's like, okay. So we got that for dinner, and then headed back. Wasn't too bad heading back home. Nothing too crazy. Unfortunately, we were running a little bit late, so we didn't get to say bye to my brother when he was leaving for the Philippines. Like, by the time we got home, he already left like about 10 minutes ago. And I only know that because I have my security cam on facing the door, and I noticed he was already leaving by the time we were getting on our last train back over here. So then from there, I just relaxed for the rest of the night. Relaxed for the rest of the night, and then I was gonna go back to work on that Thursday. Ooh, I'm speeding. Then on Thursday I went back to work, kind of getting better. Still in, like, not too much of in deep thought, but just really not 100% myself just yet. So but again, kept myself just being distracted with work. Try to do some work, try to do get back into the rounds of meetings and all that stuff. So that was a bit overwhelming coming back. I just ended up going from meeting after meeting after meeting with people. So that was a fun, interesting time, but it was a great way to just pass the time, distract myself, keep myself doing keep me working and doing other things. And then from there, work was pretty eventful and uneventful. I think I already explained it before, sort of thing. And then I headed back home, and then what my dad wanted to do was head back towards Central Valley, back to their home. Mainly because, like, as much as we want to stay here for like the rest of the week, someone has to take care of that house, and yeah. So, and I didn't want to trust my dad. Like, he didn't want to trust himself to drive alone back all the way to the Central Valley. It's just a long hell of a drive, and he's old, so like he needs at least another person just to help him not have company, sort of thing. So like, nothing really goes wrong. So we ended up since I was working from home Friday, I just told him, it's like, hey, don't you just want, should we just leave like Thursday night, so then we could just be there Friday and just do whatever we want to do. And he was fine with that. So we ended up headed out that Thursday night. And went back towards the Central Valley. Hit a little bit of traffic, but it wasn't too bad per se. And then by the time I got back to Central Valley, I crashed and then moved on to Friday. Friday, worked at home. Was slowly getting to myself, definitely getting to myself a lot better than before. I'm getting back to like that weird weird cheery old me self as when I'm working. Weirdly enough, I'm a bit extroverted when I work, but when I'm here, I'm just not. My introvert turns on immediately. But yeah, like I went back to myself, sort of thing, probably on that Friday. Definitely more towards throughout this week, though. But powered through like a couple of like trying to finish out reviews, doing my newsletter, talking with couple of members of my team, as well as with other agents as well, about like issues and whatnot. I just had a pretty nice productive Friday. Felt nice working back at my parents' place again, with my laptop on the bed while having something else running in the background. I was like, oh my god, this is the life. I miss this. But yeah, no, it was really nice. And then right after work, we still had time for my dad and I to get a haircut, hence why my hair is now shorter. And it feels so nice to have short hair again, because fuck having long hair. It gets so annoying at your ears and try to like tuck them back, as well as just the amount of hassle to deal with like all the sweat that you do because you are a sweaty being. So it's finally nice to have short hair again, where I don't have to worry about like any weird touching of issues or whatnot. I just don't like long hair, to say the least. So got a haircut, and then yeah, just chilled out for the rest of that Friday. Pretty much ran a lot of errands because I know, like, my dad noticed that he was already running out a lot of stuff from home, so we just ran a lot of errands. And then from there, when I got home, I just chilled out and just knocked out, basically. I was still tired, still recovering from everything that happened throughout the week, so I just crashed on that Friday. Saturday, ended up going back to the casino with my dad because he wanted to pick up the gift of the week over at our usual casino. And how do I explain this? And after like a 2-year losing streak, almost a 2-year losing streak, I finally came away from the casino with money. And I'm just like, finally, I'm finally here. I'm finally in the pauses. Let's hope that this is a good upwards trend from here on out, sort of thing. But yeah, like, we didn't stay for too long. We both ended up playing and both ended up winning. So we both ended up having more money coming out of that, which was nice. And then from there, just again did more of a chill out because usually when I'm back at home at my parents' place, I don't really want to go out unless my friends want to go out. So it was nice just to chill, take more naps, watch videos and whatnot. And then I think I ended up chatting with Dragon over here, just with updates and all that stuff and whatnot, and just had a nice chill time.
And me.
Eat you. And then Sunday, hung out with a couple of friends. Again, haven't told them yet as to why I was gone, or why am I back from the Central Valley. But hey, I was back, sort of thing. I think I have to take this exit. Yep, it looks like I did have to take this exit. Please don't tell me it's closed again. Oh, it's not. Okay, so yeah, hung out with them. We ended up I remember this. We ended up getting boba and then trying to figure out what to get for dinner, and what we didn't know is that there was a new Korean fried chicken place that opened up that is like different from Bonchon, which is the Korean fried chicken chain around Americas and I think around the world as well. But so we found it like on Google Maps, and and my friend told me, it's like, hey, do you want to go? It's like, sure, that sounds interesting. I want to try it. And so we went, and what we didn't notice was that this Korean fried chicken place was basically part of a deli counter in a World Supermarket. But you wouldn't know that it's a World Supermarket because on the signage in front of the supermarket, it says supermercado and everything else in Spanish. I don't remember what other words were there in Spanish, but it made me think it was going to be a Spanish market or a Spanish supermarket. Nope. It was a World Supermarket with just like goods from like Asia, Middle East, Latin America, and all that stuff just around. So definitely a world supermarket, but definitely doesn't have the traffic because there was like only like 6 or 7 people outside of the cashiers and the other workers that were around, that were just like roaming around the shops at the shop, as well as the shop was just not, they didn't have a lot of items per se, but they had the sizes of a supermarket. So like they tried their best to fill up the shelves, but they could only do so much. So there were some shelves that were empty, whatnot, but it was a very strange yet interesting feeling because it's like, wow, this is such a modern supermarket, modern World Supermarket that I would like, of the likes of H Mart or like TNT or anything like that. Yet it's in Stockton. And I know we have like a couple Asian supermarkets, but many of them are like a little bit old, a little bit grungy. So just seeing this new one was just like a breath of fresh air being there. So we ended up getting some chicken over there. Pretty good chicken. Also bought like some candies over there because it's like, ooh, they're like $1 cheaper over here compared to the Bay Area. So I bought some there too. And then from there, we ended up just like shopping at a couple other stores. Ended up going to a Dollar Tree because, which I haven't been to in like a while because there's like very few Dollar Trees around this area. Oh my God! Hello, I'm crashing everywhere. I saved it. There's a lot of realism with this wetness in the water. And yeah, I also told my dad to cook me some rice because Korean fried chicken is always great with rice. At least that's how a Filipino would say.
Did you just say curry fried chicken?
No, Korean fried chicken.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I told my dad to make some rice, so he made rice, and then I had that, and it was just amazing. It was nice. Then from there, Monday, still worked from home over there, but ended up traveling back towards the Bay Area, and then yeah, from there I was just pretty much my usual old me, and I've definitely explained about my work in the beginning of this. So yeah, work was work. And then today I still did a few more things from work. Try to finish up some reviews. Did a little bit of errands today, and then now we're here.
Yay!
Oh, come on, truck! Yeah, I did it. Okay. I'm having a hard time trying not to drift this truck again at high speeds.
Wow, the weather looks like what it's been like all day today.
Raining.
All the rain. God, the storm last night was fucking terrifying, though.
What happened?
Oh, you haven't seen my reel yet, have you?
I didn't see the reel, but I think I saw the tweet.
Oh, probably multiple tweets.
Yeah.
So it was funny. Mitzi and I were just chilling in the living room. I was watching Critical Role live because that's how I decompress after a lot of Toastmasters work.
Right.
And I was out there, and then all of a sudden we heard this like clink, clink, clink on the roof, and I'm like, what is that noise? I don't understand. And then Mitzi just bolted into my room and hid. And I was like,
Oh,
I've never seen him behave like that. What's going on?
interesting.
And then I clued in that the heavier the planks, I'm like, oh my god, it's hailing. And there's lightning crash like flashing across the street. I'm like,
Oh,
oh shit, this is a real big ass storm.
like
And
actually.
yeah, I think it was one point where like my roommate came running out of his room because he was worried about his car. And then we
Oh
both were like just
yeah,
standing on our little front step that you've seen, right?
yeah.
We were both just sitting there. He's like, I'm worried about my car. Should I go move it to the back alley under a tree? I'm like, maybe that'd be a good idea because yeah, it looked like it was snowing, like
Right.
pure whiteout of hail. It was crazy. And so he went that. I was like, yeah, that's a good plan. I'm gonna go check in on my kitty cat because I'm pretty sure he's a little bit spooked. And he's like, oh no, not Mitzi. I'm like, I know, right? And so we like separated after that. And then yeah, sure enough, poor baby boy was like underneath my stool. So my desk area setup is kind of like I've got my desk facing my bed, and then I've got my stool with my printer on it on like to my left against the shelf and in the corner.
Right.
He was underneath my stool in the corner, just ears down, like so scared. And I was like, okay, my baby boy can handle normal thunderstorms, but hail, no. He was not okay for hail.
It's like the last line for him.
Yeah, he was just not okay with that. I was like, oh boy, and it lasted for quite a while. And then it kind of settled. And then I was just laying in bed, watching Critical Role still, because it's a 4-hour show. And
Right.
all of a sudden, the loudest clap of thunder happened, and it made me like panic, shut my computer, like close my computer lid, I threw it towards the wall, and I rolled over and hid under my blanket because I'm like, I don't know what's happening. That was so scary. Like it was all like instantaneous. Suddenly it's under my
Right.
blanket, like in the fetal position, I'm fucking terrified because that's how loud it was.
It was whoosh.
And all of a sudden I'm like, oh god, it's wild again. It's a really bad storm. And so I like quickly flipped open my phone, put on some music, and then I was like, no, I want to still watch Critical Role though. And so I like came out of my blanket just enough to find where my laptop was, stayed underneath my blanket, turned on the computer, and sure enough it just like replayed from
Right.
like where it was at. And I was like, okay, I'm hiding underneath here for like until about 2-3 a.m.
Aww.
And it was funny, that was the only like clap of thunder that was super loud, but it had me like fucking scared for like 2 hours.
Right. I mean, to be fair, that is like that's just like a loud bang. That means it has to be very close by.
Yeah. So I was like, oh no. And I was terrified. Then I woke up in the morning and I was like, is everything okay? Mitzi, you okay? And my dumbass left the crack open in the window. Like I left the window open a little bit. It was so cold in here, and I was like, where's Mitzi? Like he wasn't under the stool, he wasn't under the bed, he wasn't on the totes in my closet, he was nowhere. I couldn't find him.
Right.
Then I'm like, I gotta pee, so I'm gonna get up and go pee. And the poor boy was so cold that he was laying on the heat vent in the bathroom,
Aww.
all curled up right on top of the little like heat vent in there. And I was like, baby, I'm so sorry. I was so hot when I went to bed. I didn't think of it, right? And then like sure
Right.
enough, I woke up in the morning like, oh god. And I was like, oh baby boy, I'm sorry. So I immediately like turned off my fan, closed the window, made it really warm in here for him, and then rubbed him down, kind of warmed him up with my like sweater. And I was like,
Right.
come here, baby boy, I'm so sorry.
No.
Me, sleep deprived, crying over my cat because I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then, yeah.
Aww. Damn. So like even like a crazy storm and it's suddenly just rapid cool down. That's crazy.
Rapid cool down. I mean, it was really humid, like during from like midnight to 2 a.m.
Right.
Very humid, and that's why I'm like, I'm just gonna leave a crack open. But then
Right.
suddenly, after like the humidity went, it was just phew, cold.
Like wind chill. Doo.
It was just a sudden drop. I think we went from like 20 degrees Celsius to like 14 in like 2 hours.
Damn, that's pretty cold.
Yeah, I went real cold, real quick. I mean, Calgary has it worse. Because it's 5 degrees, it feels like 3 degrees.
Oh.
Yeah. She's by the
Actually.
mountains, right? So yeah, the mountain air
my
got her.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's been quite. The storms up here really just fuck with the weather for quite a while, and then it's like, okay, we'll get you back up to the 30+ weather because we hate you.
And it's like, hi, it's still summer. You can't get to winter yet.
Yeah, nope. So that was, I mean, that's a very quick update of how my night went last night and the morning.
Oh,
And I was like, fuck, I have to be up early because I have to like prepare for therapy. And now I'm sitting underneath my blanket crying because of a loud clap of thunder.
oh.
Okay, well, this is the proof that I need therapy, if anything else. So, there's that. But I guess, oh boy, me.
You've also had your round of updates too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in awe with how vulnerable you've been, so I'm gonna take a page and try. Like, this is probably not gonna be in any particular order, because right now, dates and timelines are kind of fuzzy,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been hit with some few big things lately. But basically, what was it? So, yeah, the one Friday we didn't do Truck and Talk was because it was Pride Day at K-Days and I had a free pass.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and had like a lot of fun. It was a blast. I stayed there for like, I think I got there around 3 p.m. and didn't leave till like 11.
Damn.
So like a full 8 hours of just craziness. And it was funny, the first 10-15 minutes of K-Days was me hiding in a building full of glass and mirrors, which is probably not smart in the middle of a thunderstorm. But yeah, as soon as I got off the fucking train and I left the station, boom, thunder, rain, the whole works. I'm like, okay.
Oh, jeez.
Is this a sign that I should have stayed home? Probably. I'm broke as fuck, but fuck it, let's do it.
Oh.
So I was like, we're here, and so my choice was like, oh god, this rain is awful. I don't have an umbrella. It was not predicting storm or rain.
Right.
So I ran into like the Spiegelget, which is like a cool little like roundhouse like collapsible theater kind of thing. I ran in there and I just sat on a chair and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay in here until I don't hear the thud of rain. And yeah, sure enough, it started to lighten up a bit. I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna go out. I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna go get food. And then yeah, I had a lot of good food.
Nice.
I had a whole big thing of falafel pierogies because that was on the recommended like try list of foods, and it was so good. It had like sriracha and ranch dressing on it with a side of sour cream.
Damn.
And then like falafel and like falafel and coleslaw and like a whole bunch of stuff. It was so good. It was so pricey as fuck, but so good. And then I wandered the inside of the whole halls and kind of went through everything. They had a what did they have? They had a whole like indigenous like First Nations exhibit and experience. So there was a lot of sharing about like our people's history, the not so good and the really good,
Right.
just to kind of showcase and for people to listen and learn. And they had a huge stage in there as well for doing like powwow dances and round dances and people speaking about like their experiences with it's emotional even to this day, like even still. But there was a really well spoken person on the stage when I watched for a little bit, and they did a dance and then he spoke about what reconciliation really means, and it's just all of us being here today, partaking in their culture, listening to their experiences, and just being present in the moment.
Right.
And I'm like, that was beautiful. So they had that. They had a whole big tech fair thing that I was like, oh man, if Daryl was here, he'd be all up in this shit.
Oh man, I would be if it's there. Oh god.
Because they had a lot of AI related things. They had a lot of sustainable energy kind of cool stuff too. There's a whole thing about carbon caption stuff there too, a little bit. Like, it was actually really neat. It went all over my head. I was like, oh god, this is not my expertise. I'm like, look at all the cool like displays and little demos that you can do, but I'm also like, I'm not smart enough to do these. I'm just gonna watch all the people do the cool things and walk away.
Just be like, ooh, bye.
Yeah, and then there was a huge like market in there, but I was like, I can't really afford to be here, so I'm not gonna walk through the market because that would be a bad idea.
Right. Oh.
A very bad idea. So, because I got paid like 3 days later, so I couldn't really do fucking anything.
Oh, I see.
Well, you remember this because you saved
Yeah.
my ass. And I
I
used
did.
your instead of buying
Yeah.
groceries, I used your money to go to K-Days. Fucking stupid ass human being that I am, but whatever.
Hey, at least you're here and you have some stuff, so we're all good.
Now I'm okay and have done a
Yeah.
really big grocery run, so I'll be okay. But it only took until halfway through August to be alive. But anyway, anyway, but yeah, so I walked through all that, and then I kept going because I was like, I hear puppies. I hear
Ooh.
barking. What is this? And then my friend Evan from the Firefly Institute at U of A, he had recommended that I go check out Super Dogs. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. But okay. And then I heard the barking. I'm like, oh, is this what I think it is? And it was like an indoor, like super talented puppy show. And they had like a video game theme, so like they had like funny games like Dance Dance Revolution, where they had two mini Australian Shepherd puppies come out, and one was like an older doggo, and one was a baby, and they were doing dancing, like they were jumping and doing tricks to music, as for DDR, or for DDR. Jesus. I'm also very distracted by what just happened on stream. Oh my god. The dogs did that, but didn't do it dangerously. They were cool about it.
I can't believe I'm just like, oh my god, the guy's dead, by the way, at this point. Where are you?
Yeah, your man will be like boing boing boing.
I
Dead from
literally,
whiplash.
like, my guy is dead, that guy in the black car is dead. And he's not recovering now. My bad.
Wow. But yeah, I got to see all the cool, talented puppies. Do lots of cool tricks. They did like a little Mario Party thing. It was so cute. It was just the best. And what made it even better is you got to go down to the stadium or the arena and meet the puppies after.
Aww.
So I gotta go meet all the superstars and give them lots of love and scratches and told them that they were good dogs. It was amazing.
Aw, so cute.
It was amazing. And then I failed at every carnival game I tried. Horrendously. Then I got to get a cool cowboy poutine, which was all like pulled pork, gravy, yumminess, coleslaw. It was good.
It sounded so good.
I got that. I was gonna get the Zeus poutine, but it was just too much in terms of price. And just when I got there and realized how big the poutine bowls were and all the toppings that came on the Zeus one, I'm like,
I'm glad you're glad you didn't get that.
I'm okay that I'm not getting this. Let me save the $1.50, do the cowboy poutine with less toppings and less craziness, and just save my stomach some pain for later.
Aww.
And then I got to wander around the Pride Fair that was there, which is funny because I just said I'm not going to do any markets and spend any money. Luckily,
Right.
I just gathered a bunch of brochures, got a lot of buttons, and then I got to, if you guys follow me on my Twitter, my current profile picture, which I never advertised to anyone, I just changed it, is actually me posing at the Pride Fair booth, like doing like little things. I had a rainbow sash, a couple little like things in my hands, and I did a stupid pose. It's not a flattering photo of me, but fuck it.
But hey, it works.
I'm showing the world how queer I am, and that's one way to do it.
It's like, if this doesn't explain a lot, I don't know what will.
Oh, this is me in my truest form. Stupid derp face, double chin, whatever the fuck I was looking at. All the silly rainbow props. So, it was that. Then I got to see Talk perform. They were the opening act for Tegan and Sarah. And they were surprisingly talented. Like, he started singing his first few notes. I was in the crowd, and I was like, oh, you are a talented good sir. Holy shit. And then I stayed around for like 4 or 5 songs in the crowd until my legs wanted to give out. And then I went and sat down for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I just kept watching him because like they had the big screens. Right. I'm like, hi? Are they on TikTok? And yeah, sure enough, I was just like on my phone going like, Spotify, talk. TikTok, talk. And yeah, I found them.
Hey.
And his most recent song is beautiful. It's like happier, which is funny because I know that's a Marshmallow song. But this one's just like, if only I could be a little bit happier, and it's just talking about like small things that could just bring you joy.
Right.
And it's just a beautiful song, and he sang it one near the end, and I was like, what a beautiful message. And I found out more that his wife always told him that every morning, like, I wish I could show you how I see you, you know.
Aww.
And that's the concept of the song. And I was like, oh, because he's a bigger guy, right? And TikTok's a place full of fucking venom bitches who call him out on it all the time, and it's just such a sad world that we live in. So he's just a beautiful, beautiful human being. And then there's that awkward like 30 minutes of like, where's Tegan and Sarah? Wait, they don't go on yet? Oh fuck, I'm gonna go sit down. Screw this. I went back and sat down for a little while because I want to point out I don't do a lot of walking in my everyday life. And so at that point I had hit like 7,900 steps. I'm like,
it's like, and I'm dead.
I'm in pain. By the end of the day I hit 12,000 steps.
Damn.
Oh boy. You've killed your person many times.
We'll try again.
Daryl. Jesus. I was like, and then Tegan and Sarah came on. And I was so happy. The last song they played was Closer. And that's the song that they're mostly known for. It was like, all I wanna get is a little bit closer. Like that song. They saved it for the end, and I was like so dead. I was like almost in tears because I was exhausted and pained. I'm like, gotta hang in there. I gotta listen to it. I gotta be here for it. I need to. And I was like, yay! And then yeah, sure enough, it took me about 30 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes to like slowly make my way from like, because the stage and everything was on the opposite side of the entire like exhibition grounds. And so I like slowly fucking made my way back to the train. And then when I got to sit on the train and take the train from Coliseum all the way down to Southgate, I was like, oh, this is what I needed.
It's
oh
like
my God.
My legs are feeling it.
The long ass train ride. And then I was like, oh god, when is the last bus coming? I don't know, because like the 707 route that goes near my house, it doesn't run late. So I was like, holy shit. So when I went down there, my phone died, and I was like, I can't look it up on my phone, so I'm gonna go old fashioned and look up on the boards inside Southgate.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the bus came in 18 minutes and was the last bus.
I'm glad I'm here, otherwise it's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Because otherwise that'd have been a 30-minute walk.
Woohoo!
Across the tracks, across the white mud, across all those big roads.
And I was like, I know between Southgate and your place is not far to walk, or it's like not far, but it is a long walk.
It is a long walk, especially if you think about, like I said, you have to cross the tracks, you're crossing the white mud, you're crossing an overpass.
Yeah, you are.
So yeah, and so I was like, oh my god, thank god. And then I just like sat there on the bench near my bus stop going like, oh, I can't wait. Oh god, bus will come soon. 18 minutes. Okay.
So
and then the bus always comes early. And so I'm like, okay, hop on the bus, sit down. Enjoy the sitting. And then I came in that night. I had no voice. I came in, I was like, Mitzi, I love you. I'm sorry I was gone so long. And him and I had a ton of cuddles.
Aww.
And then I made tea because I was like, I need my voice for Toastmasters the next morning.
Right.
So I stayed up late drinking tea and watching YouTube.
Aww.
And then I had Toastmasters the next day. And I was so tired.
Right.
So tired because I don't think I went to sleep till 1, and I had to be at Toastmasters for like 9:20.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I was exhausted. But luckily it was kind of nice being back in like my club meetings since I've taken on this division director role, because I haven't really been for a while because this role's kept me super busy.
Right.
And so finally coming back and being welcomed by all the new members that joined a few months ago, and they're all like, "Violet, you're back!" I'm like, hey, yep, I'm back. What up?
I am back.
Y'all miss me. They're like, where have you been? Tell me everything. I'm like, okay, right. And I had like a venti. I had a venti Starbucks with me. I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you everything. And like sipping on coffee between each story.
It's like, I need this.
Yeah. And then it was nice to just be at the meeting again, and now I'm going back as regularly as possible. I'm taking a break on the 26th.
Mhm.
Just because like this month has been very Toastmasters heavy.
Right.
Because I've been doing club officer training sessions for the VP Eds in my district. And I had to do a few of those sessions. I did one on the 27th, the 7th, and the 17th. Wow. I just picked all the 7s.
Yo, dog, I heard you like 7s.
Yo, dog, 777. That's a lucky number, right? I think so.
It should be.
At least in Toastmasters. So I was kind of like training those sessions, and then what's been going on this week is that the district trio, the 3 people that are above me in the Toastmasters hierarchy of shit, the hierarchy of shit.
I like a good explanation.
They've been in the Bahamas. And so Rebecca, she's part of the trio, enlisted me to coordinate a couple additional training sessions. And so I've had to coordinate, organize, run, and make sure there's volunteers at all these training sessions. And so I had my additional training session this week, and then I planned for 2 more training sessions for next week. And so I did all this planning, involved a lot of emails, involved a lot of sending out notices to the district of, hey, training.
Dang.
And so it was just busy doing all this, on top of having my division council team, getting my new area director like onboarded, and just so much. It's just been a busy fucking month. So I feel bad. I'm coming back for like 3 meetings in a row, go me, for Northern Lights, and then I'm gone for 2 weeks. Bye. I'm gonna be gone on the 26th, and then like September long weekend we don't have a meeting. I'm like, bye. Taking a little break.
It's like, I need this break, guys.
Yeah, because it's been busy. Like, my poor area directors are so like inundated by tasks.
Oh.
And it's just such a busy period, though. They have to get club success plans. They have to do their club success plan. They have to have their area council meetings right away so that their clubs know who they are. They have to help with assigning proxies for the convention that's happening right now. They had to help send out notices about club officer training for me. They've been busy, and then my one area director volunteered to help co-host my training session on the 17th.
Hey.
And so I'm like, damn, I'm so glad I have you in my life, and you said yes to everything that I throw at you. And she's like, hey, if I don't say yes, then I'm not gonna learn, and then I'll feel like I'm failing. So whatever you need.
Hey, that's fair.
I'm like, I love you, thank you. Holy shit, thank you. So that's been really busy. But like really good busy.
Right.
Like, I've been really enjoying all of it, but yeah, I really felt it Thursday night when I finished that session. I really felt the whole like, holy fuck, this has been a lot.
It's like, it's done. I can breathe.
I can breathe, except I have to help out on the 22nd and 23rd. But it's fine. Those are only co-host roles. All I have to do is let people in from Zoom. That's it, in the waiting room. That's it.
It's like, I don't have to lead this anymore. Also, sorry guys for me picking my nose. My nose has been itchy now.
Oh, sanitizer. I don't know why that was a response in my head, but oh man, you can tell the pandemic has trained me well.
Right.
So Toastmasters has been surprisingly good. Just very busy, and I'm getting a little burnt out already. But fortunately, I'm taking a break from club meetings in a little bit. And then it's funny, September 9th, when I come back, I'm the fucking Toastmaster.
Oh. So it's like you're back, hey, you're going to be back up to it again.
Let's run the show.
Nailed it.
Let's kill this love. Oh god, now Blackpink is going to be in my head. So that's been good. Again, like Toastmasters, busy but good. Productive. My area directors think I'm doing a great job. Nice. Sure. I'll take it. I'll take any kind of praise I can get in this moment, because yeah, that's all the good stuff.
Right.
And now I gotta talk about all the bad stuff.
The fun fun stuff.
Oh, and I'm really gassy now. I'm sorry.
What
It
was
always
what
happens.
was the what was the first thing you drank?
The vitamin water, oddly enough.
Oh,
I
interesting.
was
I thought it'd be
really
carbonated.
I was really dehydrated, right?
Okay.
So I just like chugged that down. I haven't opened up anything else yet. What should I
I
open up? The
see.
Sprite or the lime?
Ooh, that's tricky.
The bubbly? What will make me? I mean, both are gonna make me even more
Yeah,
gassy than I
you'll
already
be
am.
belchy. What do you want? Do you want the sugar sweet or do you want the
You know what?
light
Feeling
and
low
crisp?
in energy. Let's do sugar.
Sugar.
Hey, that's a BTS member. Just saying. Hi, guys. I'm in the K-pop world now.
You are.
Fully fledged into it. I finally downloaded Weverse, so I'm fucking there. Daryl,
Yes.
this is such a really random. Oh no.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Daryl,
Yes.
if I told you there was gonna be an online Blackpink concert at the end of August, and it's on Weverse, and it's online, and it's the finale of their Born Pink tour, could I have $50 to go? I'm so dumb.
We will talk about this later.
Okay. Look, that's the only reason why I downloaded Weverse, by the way, because I was like,
Oh,
wait,
really?
what? And then of course all the money's in like Korean dollar or Korean
Korean
currency,
won. Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't know conversion rate. Da da da. It came up as like 40 something US. I'm like, that'll be 50 something Canadian. Can I swing that? I don't know. So we'll see.
Right. We will
But it would be
converse about
cool to
this.
like wake up at like 3 a.m. and be like, concert online
Nailed it.
on my phone. That's how much of a I can't even say weeaboo because that's not even appropriate for like K-pop world. What is the? I'm such a
Korea-boo.
stan.
Or Stan.
I'm such a stan of Blackpink. Oh my god.
Yeah, Stan's
Anyway.
probably the better word than Korea-boo. Some people do call it Korea-boo though, apparently.
Oh, okay, Korea boo. There you go. Uh, it's funny though. I still don't have like my what's it? Oh god, I don't have my bias in Blackpink yet. It goes back and forth between like Lisa and Rosé all the time. All the time. Anyway, I guess I should stop putting off the hard shit.
Aw.
It's okay. I had therapy this morning, so I processed half of it. So it's fine. Uh, so I guess we'll start with you were really, honestly, like I'm amazed that you shared so much about your grandma. So I'll talk about family. I think you guys here know that my dad's been struggling with like leg stuff and foot stuff. I don't know
believe
how
so.
much I've shared on here. I know I've kept kind of a lot of it private, but
Yeah, I think that as of like the last probably couple months, maybe.
yeah. So, big update. My dad is extremely diabetic. Is the way to phrase it, I suppose. And
Like the worst type 2 diabetic, maybe you would say.
yeah. And over the years, he hasn't really been taking care of it properly until all the stuff started happening about 2-3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
where he started getting infection in his feet, and then it led to his right foot having like his toes amputated. Just his toes. So luckily, they stopped the infection from spreading any further.
Right.
In the last year and a bit, though, it's been his left leg, and things have progressed pretty badly. And it got to the point where he had two options. They could. Oh, I'm all burpy. God.
Nice.
This is what happens. I don't do a lot of talking in my daily life, and then I come on here and it's like.
It's just like it just hits you.
Yeah. And then he had a couple options left after doing a bunch of tests. He was in such severe pain, and he was forced to wait for results, and it got really bad near the end of July to the point where he was in so much pain from the infection and things like that in his left leg. That they had to call 911
Oh.
to just show, the urgency and how bad it was.
Right.
That sped up a bunch of things. They did a whole slew of tests and gave him two options. One that will cringe Daryl out, so enjoy watching his face.
Here we go.
One of the surgeries that could be 30% effective would be basically to open his legs up in order to let the air in, to let the blood flow better in his legs, and it would just be an open wound as they recovered.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's the problem with how bad his diabetes was that the blood flow was not.
It was like fully constricted.
It wasn't reaching the bottom half of his leg.
Ooh.
So that when you're taking antibiotics, that's how it gets to, infections through your bloodstream. Right. That wasn't happening. The other option that would be 70% effective is to do the full amputation up to below the knee. They were given a week to think about it, and he chose the amputation. Poor guy still had to wait a further week, by the way, and all of that pain until the surgery happened.
It's weird. I could feel it. Whenever you explain, I always feel it.
I know, and I feel so bad because I know you don't like this shit, but I mean, if you're being honest about your grandma, I could be honest about my dad.
Hey, that's fair.
I
was already ready for that. It's just like anytime anyone explains like a body part to me in general, I get so squeamish. I feel it, but it's okay. I can do it.
Yeah. So the worst part about it, I wasn't told when the surgery was going to happen. I think my sister had texted me the Thursday night. Don't ask me dates because I don't even know.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't even provide dates for my thing.
Yeah, the Thursday night, my sister had messaged me going, "Hey, did Sue message you?" And Sue's my dad's stepmom, or my dad's partner. My stepmom. Words. And I was like, "No, why? What's going on?" And so she told me that, "Oh, Dad's at the hospital and he's preparing for a surgery." And I was like, "Oh, okay. It's the full surgery?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, weird." And she's like, "They didn't tell you?" I'm like, "No, they didn't." That's been a series of contention for me and my family, by the way, is people not fucking telling me anything. And so I was like, okay, well, he will be busy literally. Oh, I know the weekend. It was the Friday I went to K-Days. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, he's going to be, busy, in pain, recovering. I can't go see him on those days, right? Because, it's a surgery. So I was like, okay, well, hopefully I will get updated. I'll wait and see. The whole weekend went by, no word, no nothing. And I was like, okay, no news is good news. As most people will tell you in the medical field, no news is good news. Unless it's because of other reasons.
Yeah.
So I had found out, I think it was the Tuesday, so 4 or 5 days after surgery, that I found out that it was a lot serious than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
My sister had messaged me going, "Hey, have you checked in on Dad yet?" And I was like, "No, I haven't heard anything. I don't know what's going on." And then she's like, "Well, you should." Because, he had, part of his leg cut off and kind of guilt-tripped me into it quite a bit.
Right.
I felt uncomfortable, so I gave in a little bit and did message him to see what was going on. But then I let my sister know that, that was extremely uncomfortable, and then she took it to extremes, and we're not really in a good place with all this going on. And it got a little worse, because then my dad had messaged me back going, "Hey, there's been so much that's happened. Did you know that I had surgery? Ask me these questions, and it'd be much better if you came to the hospital to see me so I can explain everything to you."
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, oh, great. Now I'm guilt-tripped for my sister for not checking in on my dad, and now I'm being guilt-tripped by my dad for not knowing anything and having to go see him to learn anything.
Right.
Okay. I'll come see you on Thursday kind of thing, like the day before his birthday,
Right.
because his birthday was on the 4th.
Uh,
Yeah, what a good birthday, hey? Okay. So I went and saw him. It took me a bit
mm-hmm.
to leave. I had to do work in the morning, which I haven't even given that update yet. Holy shit. Okay, oh my god. This has been an awful month.
Oh.
So I went to see him, and oddly enough, it was okay seeing him with the nubby, as we're calling it.
Right.
And I don't know, I didn't know what to expect, so I was like, okay, he might be in pain, so he might not want to move it much, but he was just like
Mm-hmm.
able to he was like showing off a little bit. Look what I can do. I can like rotate it, I can move it, I can lift it up, I can bend it a little bit. And I was like, okay, Dad, careful.
He's like,
like,
damn, showing off. Hello?
I'm like, careful. Are you sure you don't hurt? He's like, I don't feel anything right now. I'm like, you're on
It's
pain,
like,
Dad? A little.
it's
I'm
like,
like,
well,
okay.
hopefully that stays a bit.
Yeah, he didn't really experience a lot of pain, but he he did experience a big scare. So he told me everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I didn't even tell my therapist this. Cool. Oops. Like I said, half processed all this, guys. Whatever.
Right.
And so they both Sue and him, both my stepmom and him, told me everything that happened about the level of pain. And I do feel for Sue a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she would be woken up in the middle of the night with him screaming in pain.
Aww.
And that's how bad it got. So, yeah, that was hard to hear, but the hardest part to hear was apparently my sister had came up that weekend
Oh.
to check in on my dad and see things, and I had no idea. She didn't tell
Right.
me. When she had checked in with me that Thursday to see if anyone had told me anything, she didn't let me know that she was up here.
Right.
She could have came and picked me up, could have went and saw him, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
Turns out none of us could have seen him anyway for most of Friday and Saturday, because as he came out of the anesthesia, he was super, super sick.
Oof.
It did not settle well for him,
Right.
and it got to the point he was sorry for cringe details, trigger warning. It got to the point where he wasn't eating anything, couldn't eat anything, couldn't keep anything down, and in fact was actually even what's a nicer phrase to say, upchucking blood.
Mm.
Afterwards, and they had to put him into isolation because they were worried it was COVID, but it wasn't.
Right. At least
Those
it
were much
wasn't.
more extreme
Yeah.
symptoms, not COVID related. And I guess the nurses kept telling him that they were worried that he wouldn't make it.
Aw.
And poor Sue, and I guess my sister, fuck, they were calling the hospital the whole time trying to get an update, see when they can see him, and not getting answers.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor will call you when he's ready. The doctor will call you when he's ready, and all that kind of stuff. So they didn't know what was going on with him.
Right.
Besides that, there was a trouble patient who needed a lot of help. And so we almost lost him that weekend. So that was hard to hear, because I had that realization in my mind that if we had lost him,
Mm-hmm.
no one would have told me. I probably would have found out days later
Mm-hmm.
because of how bad the communication was between all of us.
Right.
And then the guilt came in as he was talking, that I wasn't around or communicating better, and it's still there quite a bit. Like, I still feel like a really shitty daughter a lot of the time, especially talking about it. I still feel like a shitty
Mm-hmm.
daughter for not for being too prideful to like not check in.
Right.
But they weren't messaging me either, so I don't. Uh,
It's like it doesn't help that you're also going through a lot of stuff too. Like, don't
yeah,
get
like
me
that
wrong.
same
It's like,
time I lost that same fucking week I lost my job.
yeah,
Like I'm being fired at the end of this month, so
yeah. That was also another update as well.
yeah.
But like, not even that. It's like, just life does just roll on where you just cannot find the time to update. It's just hard. So it's like unless if someone can tell you and let you know, and be like a good person as well. Like just be a sensible person to at least alert the people that should know that
Mm.
hey, this is going on. Like, um, if you can be here, please do. Like, it's
Yeah.
truly like a hey, newsflash. This is happening. You may want to check up on this.
Yeah. So hearing all that was hard, and I mean, no one wants to see their dad cry either. So
Right.
I've only seen him cry once before, and that was when my grandma died.
Oh.
When I like years ago.
Right.
So it was just really hard. And then he was asking me about like, hey, I've been sending you things whenever I can. I want you to know that I know it wasn't probably the communication you needed, but it was all I could do, being in the pain that I was. And I was like, okay, it's an explanation. I get it. And then I told him my side of stuff a little bit, going, yeah, I think I took it a little too personal. That it wasn't more of a personal update and more of just a copy paste, here you go, deal with this information how you want
Right.
kind of situation, where I would have rather had like the actual update of like, how are you really doing? I'm your daughter, I need to know, do I need to come or not?
Right.
I wanted that information. And so we hugged it out. And he's like, I'll be better about it because I'm going to be transferring hospitals here soon. There will be a release date eventually. So I will keep you up to date with like proper updates. And I was reading some of these out to
You were.
Daryl the other night, and he's such a dirk. He's such a dork. With his
He
updates.
is. He is. It's like, wow, it's like something I would have written. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like
He's
to the
very
T.
dorky. Talking about the people on his health team at the new hospital, the rehab center,
Right.
that are like the ones that he likes, the ones he doesn't like, the ones that push him too hard in physio, like.
Right. He's
updates,
like
and I'm
has a rating
"See?"
for everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, and so I'm like, see, these were the updates I would have wanted, right?
Right. Just
And
like
now I'm
the
finally getting it because we've had that
fun derpy
conversation.
updates. Yeah. It's just like it's just fun derpy. It's like, oh my god, he's being silly, but I love him.
Yeah, funny, silly. And then in a couple of his updates, he did let me know that physio's been really hard, so he's kind of feeling that blotness
Right.
about it all again, and the realization of everything kind of hits him every once in a while. Especially because he has a healthcare worker or something like that who keeps reminding him of the challenges he'll face when he gets sent home, how he needs to do things when he gets home, and all that kind of stuff. So he's let me know too about some of the more like harder moments.
Right.
And I mean, fair, like it's a big change, and he has to wait still. I think still has to wait another 2 months or so until he can get the prosthetic fitted.
Oh.
And then it's ordered, and then it'll come in, and then he has to go through all that like retraining, right?
Right.
Of the body and mind when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a long, long road.
Oh yeah.
But at least, even though it's hard and like still emotional as fuck, for me, like at least I'm getting the updates, and like we had that kind of conversation to fix things a little.
Right.
And I know he's got help. He was able to get Sue's daughter, Robin, to move in with them
Mm-hmm.
to like help out with a lot of stuff. And then they have a family friend, Tracy, who will live with them 4 days a week and help out. So I feel good about that, and I'm so glad he didn't ask me. Plus, he knows like financially the summer's been hard. I'm only working 20 hours a week.
Right.
So it's been hard financially on me, and I'm trying to do like out school and all the training that I'm doing, or all the classes I'm doing on Outschool and such,
Right.
to get by, and it's been hard financially, so he knew that like I couldn't break my lease to move in with him, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Plus, I have a kitty cat, and they have 2 cats and a dog, so that's a lot.
It's like as much as I love the other two cats and the dog, I can't.
Yeah, I can't put Mitzi through that stress.
Right.
And I can't put all of them through that stress either.
Right. Because now I have to not only handle my dad, you also have to handle other things like the pets. It'd be
Yeah.
like a lot of fun, just a lot of fun stuff.
A lot of crazy adjustments. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm glad he has the people to come and help him.
Yeah.
Especially he's way on the West End, and it's hard to like navigate the West End right now because it's all being torn up in construction.
Well, yeah.
So there's that a big update. Their fingers crossed, things are going well, that he might be able to go home it's midnight now, so 6 days.
Okay.
So they're hoping to send him home in 6 days
Right.
from the rehab center. So the only update, well, with him being diabetic, he now is being trained on how to like work his insulin properly.
Hmm.
He was such a stubborn asshole my whole life, where he just took the same units of insulin no matter what, and didn't really adjust it for where his blood sugars were at or what he was eating.
Right.
Now he knows how to do that. And so the poor guy has been so used to living with his blood sugars super high that he's living in the normal range now, and it feels low. It feels hard.
I don't blame. Honestly, I don't blame the dude because it's just like.
And yeah, they're trying to work out like the proteins and sugars he needs to eat and like keep it in the range, the healthy range,
Right.
of like 4 to 7 or 4 to 8 now, I guess it is.
Hmm.
Because in just before lunchtime, his sugars get pretty low, like threes, like low threes.
Right.
And they're trying to figure out how to prevent that from happening from breakfast to lunch. So he's kind of struggling with all the blood sugar stuff and the new like knowledge of insulin and measuring things for food and such, but he knows he has to do it. And the other thing that came out of all this that's amazing to me is that they got him and my stepmom on a nicotine patch to quit smoking.
Oh.
So that's been amazing. My dad has told me he's only craved it once. He wanted
So
once.
the powers does work.
It does work, like the health, like the actual like drugs in the nicotine patch or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is working. But he told me there was one morning where he woke up. He's like, "Oh, new day." Went to the bathroom. God, I can go outside for like some fresh air and a smoke right now. And he's like, "What? Smoke? No." And I had to like tell himself, "No."
It's like
not
force a
what we
habit.
want right
Wait,
now.
oh shit! Hold on a second.
Exactly. So I'm proud of him for doing some of the hard stuff right now. Like, I mean, all the hard stuff if you think about it. Like,
Right.
yeah. It's probably, if you think about it, probably like 10-15 years too late to finally start doing some of this. But at least he's doing it.
It's like it's late, but yeah, if the effort does count. Like that's the thing. It's like
Yeah, I mean, he finally has
discount the effort.
I mean, thanks to like the first incident a few years ago, he finally has a family doctor. Fucking Jesus Christ. I've had a family doctor longer than he has. Okay.
Damn.
And he came back to me and I went back to him when I came back from the UK. So yo.
It's like you know who to come back to.
He took me back. So, it's hard because like I think this could be. I mean, if anyone in your family loses half a limb, it's hard.
Right.
But I think it could be also good. Kind of like what I was telling you, Daryl. Like you mentioned earlier, like you told your boss and me about your grandma for like the longest time, until the stream really.
Right. Pretty much.
And the silver lining of that is just you and I have gotten closer with it. Like I feel like you and I both trust each other more to be like, no, hey, it's actually not okay right now.
Right.
And just having those heart to hearts a little bit. So that's like
Mm-hmm.
a silver lining to like the hard thing.
Right.
I think the silver lining for all this hard stuff is maybe with him and I communicating better. Like maybe we'll work to being okay,
Right.
kind
Like,
of thing.
at least you have, like, the bridge is rebuilding, sort of thing.
Yeah, replacing brick by brick.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I alluded to the other hard thing this month is being let go from my one job. All over me asking to be fairly compensated for a workshop they wanted me to run outside of my work hours.
Still mad about this, by the way.
So one of my colleagues on the like kind of admin team had reached out to me going like, "Hey Violet, like our boss and I think you would be a great person to run this parent kid workshop to work on like building your confidence in public speaking. Would you be interested in doing it?" And I thought, okay, maybe. What are the dates and times? Because I have to be careful with, the 20 hours a week I'm only allowed to work kind of thing.
Right.
And she gave me the details. I'm like, okay, I want to say yes, but I think I'm going to talk to our boss. Oh, I have a big bubble of gas that just does not want to burp.
Try and burp. What I'm gonna do is I will be back. I need to get more water.
Oh, fair enough.
So feel free to talk.
Yeah, I'll talk. So I was like, oh, well, I'll let you know. I kind of want to talk to Galia to see if she wouldn't mind me doing this workshop outside of the 20 hours that I do a week at work. And she's like, no, that's super fair. You deserve to be like fully compensated for, doing some additional work in your week, and that's fair. And I was like, okay, cool. She's got my back. At the very least, great. So I reached out and asked her and gave a few examples or reasons why I think I deserve this, or maybe we can try this if you're okay with it. I know there was a week back in June when it was super busy, or I think maybe even end of May or beginning of June. I was super busy and you were able to give me 5 additional hours that week to help with the transition of stuff. Maybe we can do the same thing for this workshop. Then it led to some pretty crazy comments and almost argument that happened over text chat, which made it worse, of course, because she basically was saying things like, I'm not asking you to do extra work. This is just part of the parameters of what your job description is already. In fact, I haven't seen a lot of improvement from you. So the things that you've mentioned are just things you're starting to do good at. So really, you don't deserve it fully, kind of thing. And kind of kept saying these things. And in fact, if we were to talk about your performance, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. And kind of led to all this stuff. And then it led to me kind of defending myself, going, well, actually, I am adaptable and flexible. I constantly readjust my work schedule, my work duties every week whenever you ask me to. I put projects on the side constantly, so I'm able to be adaptable and flexible. I just thought, for 2-3 hours compensation to do a workshop was fair. And then I brought in some other reasons, like considering that I'm making the same money as I am as a coach, as I am as an admin team member, kind of pointing out some of these things that I'm like, wouldn't be that hard to do. And I'm sorry, I'm so burpy. And so it led to a lot of this back and forth, and she's like, this is getting complicated now. So we will have a separate meeting outside of our one-to-one to discuss this. I'm like, okay, let me know when that meeting will be. So we had our one-to-one, and it was just normal stuff. All the, the projects I'm working on, checking in on how my 30, 60, 90-day goals are going, and just kind of normal stuff. And then dealing with a couple coach problems, which are still ongoing. and I'm very frustrated with my coaches about a lot of things, but we're working on it bit by bit. So we had just a normal meeting, talked about a bunch of things, and we never brought up the so-called incident that happened. We scheduled a separate one-to-one to happen that Friday. Oddly enough, the Friday that I went to... No, it was the Friday before or the Friday after. I think it was the Friday... No, it was the Friday after K-Days. Because it was Dad's birthday. My dad's birthday. That's also fun. And a month before my birthday when it happened. Oh, that's cool. That's another cool realization to this. Just gonna clock that into my memory bank. So we had this one-to-one meeting, and she wanted me to explain myself again about everything that happened. Tell me why you think you deserve this again, and explain to me your perspective. So I did, and I got a little emotional, and I explained to her that I'm actually a little confused and hurt a bit, because as far as I could tell from our one-to-one meetings the last few months, you're very happy with the work I do. You said that I've proved a lot. I'm working harder than I ever have before. You know, all these things. Like, I've been hearing that for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm like, and you started to say you fully trust me in handling, you know, everything that's in my job. You've mentioned that to me. That's why I thought we were in a position, and I was in a safe enough place, that we could talk about extra compensation for a workshop. And then she turned on me and started to do a really long... I think I had to sit there and listen to her basically berate me for 20 minutes. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but
Right.
The summary of it basically is that, like, you're not a good leader. You're too emotional. You're too reactive. You're too negative. You're too emotional. You're too reactive. You're not adaptable. You're not flexible. You've only improved a little bit in the last couple months, and it's not enough to deserve extra compensation. You are too entitled. You can tell what phrases I've captured on and have held on to a little bit since this meeting. So she just kept telling me all these things and provided examples of stuff that I did. And it's interesting because the examples she gave were also examples that she used in our one-to-one meetings to say that I did a good job. So it was confusing, to say the least.
Right.
And then it got to the point where I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say after that. And she's like, well, I have the results of what's going to happen, and I'm going to have to let you go at the end of August because of these reasons. And I was sitting there going like, but what? I'm like, I'm sorry, the reasons are what again? And it was nothing to do with work. It was just cutting me down personality-wise.
That is so strange.
So I am struggling with it a lot because I have been working so hard to be confident, to be a good leader, because in Toastmasters I am a leader right now.
Right.
And leading a team, taking care of things, being confident, feeling capable of doing things, especially in that job, because I wasn't told anything otherwise until I tried to speak up, ask for compensation for a small workshop that would have been barely anything. I think she would have been paying me like just over $50 out of the 60 because of taxes. And then when I tried to do that, she suddenly had a whole list of things that I was doing wrong that she had not told me in our one-to-ones or in any performance thing that we talked about.
Right.
And suddenly brought it all up the following week after our big conversation on Slack, and then chose to fire me and let me go. Yet, in that same meeting, she gave me a ton of praise for being an amazing coach, working so well with our students, being a great teacher. She would love it if I stayed on and stayed as a coach and worked with her in that capacity. in my mind, I already knew that I wasn't going to, but
Oh,
I told her I'll think about it. We'll see,
right,
because I need to now look for a new job.
right.
And then she's like, "Oh yeah, good luck with job hunting. If you need a reference or anything, let me know. When you get the termination letter, I promise you all this conversation, everything will be kept confidential. You will also need to keep this confidential and sign the NDA." Whoops, wait a minute. I just broke it. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm not telling you guys the company name, so there you go.
Right.
You won't know anything really about it, and you don't know her last name. So, fuck it. And it's kind of, well, if she mainly wanted me to do it in interviews.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want me to bring up what happened or why I'm leaving the company. Why I'm leaving the company. Is how
Right.
she phrased it. Fucking whatever. Uh, to anyone in interviews. She made it very clear. Like, you do not bring this up in interviews. I'm like, oh. I'm like, what do you want me to say? And so she's like, you'll figure it out. I'm like, okay, you can't even help me with that. Awesome. But I have to sign an NDA when it comes to professional work relations. Okay. So I had to spin a lie, basically, in my
Mm-hmm.
most recent interview to become a tutor. Hey! And then I was leaving this job because my contract was up at the end of the month.
Right.
And they were not going to renew me. So I had to lie in my interview. Partially lie, I guess, because the coaching part is true.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching contract ends in September, and I'm not renewing it. So I kind of leaned on that half truth a little bit.
Right.
And yeah, so what I've been doing at work this whole month is compiling a big portfolio of all the work I've done since I took on this coordinator role.
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of assign statuses to all the projects, like if they are fully completed, if they're ongoing part of the role kind of thing, partially started or not started.
Right.
And then once that was completed, and I had to link all the files and folders to prove that I had done it, because she no longer trusts me and wants to check my work.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in a current big review of everything I've done, which I think is pointless, but whatever. I did all that, and I'm honestly proud of all the work I've done. Like, it's something that I'm still really proud of. It just sucks at how it's ending.
Right. It's like you've done a lot of work, and yet it's gonna be all for naught at this point.
Yeah, just for you. It's for whatever they want to do with it.
Right.
And for probably the new coordinator to take all credit for. Especially like the ongoing and partially started stuff and the not started stuff, they can just take credit for it, right?
Right.
But anyway, not better, not upset. Nope. And then now I'm kind of being told to refer to this document and try to finish up any of these projects you can before you go.
Which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And yet I also still have to attend all the one-to-one meetings and all the team meetings, in which I'm basically useless in.
Right.
Oh, and it's funny because like I've been accused of being too negative in these meetings, so it's been really awkward for me to be like coming into this meeting going, "Hey everyone, hi, how's it going? Neha, you went to the Eras tour? Amazing! Tell me all about it." And like really faking it because I feel like I have to put on a show,
Right.
or else I'll prove her right. And so I did that at the last team meeting because I knew Neha got to go to fucking LA for the last night of the Eras tour where they
Damn.
announced the 1989 Taylor's version. She was there. Anyway, I'm fine. I'm not jealous. It's fine. She got last minute tickets. It's fine. Whatever.
Damn, that's crazy.
And got tickets to Toronto. Whatever. Fuck. And so did Bogdan, actually. My other colleague on the team. He also got
Oh,
Eras
really?
tickets. I'm like, I hate everyone in this world. I
like,
can't afford
damn.
Eras tickets. We're the flight to Toronto.
Right. It's like, how'd you
That's
guys
awesome.
manage to afford it working here?
They both have two other jobs.
Multi-job
Well,
people.
Neha's full time
Uh-huh.
at the company and got a raise.
Ah.
So that's why. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it was kind of funny, but I got to be all excited for them, right, faking it, and then I gave my report going like, yeah, I compiled the projects and everything you asked me to do, Galia, and it's all on a document. I was able to assign each project a status based on like completed, ongoing, partially started, and not started, and my goal for the next few weeks before I go is to try to complete anything that's not completed yet. That's my report. Thank you. And just like I gotta play it up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then our one-to-ones are just awkward. Although this week was a bit different because the last couple of weeks have been like, Violet, you have to do this, this, and this, and you gotta do this, 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 and then da 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 da
Right.
da. This one was different. It was shorter. Because the first question that she asked me was like, oh, can you let me know by the 23rd of August if you're going to be a coach with us? Because that would be great so I can plan if I need to hire a third coach or not. I was like, oh, I don't need to wait till the 23rd to tell you. I can tell you right now. I found another opportunity with Tutor Teach. They hired me to be a tutor, and I started September. So therefore, I'm not going to renew my contract with you in September, so I can pursue this opportunity. And the tones changed a little bit from being authoritative to, oh, okay, I will work on rearranging your students and I'll add one more position that I need to hire. I was like,
Interesting. I thought she would be pissed. Not gonna lie, I thought
no.
she'd be like, "Wow, for first and finally, now you're leaving." What?
Yeah, so it was, her tune was that her bubble was bursted a little bit to lose an amazing coach, or what you can say is she's lost an amazing employee.
Right.
And her bubble was busted a little bit when I told her that. Uh,
Oh.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I have other opportunities now. It's like, oh,
That are also going to pay me way more
right. Ooh,
when
that's
I
a car.
finally started. It is a car.
It's okay. Figured it out.
You're good.
I'm good.
So yeah, that was interesting. Her tone suddenly changed in that meeting. And then yeah, we wrapped up that meeting in less than 10 minutes. Because
Wow.
I was like, she'll ask me, and then she's like, what's your plan to deal with our coaches that are not communicating? And I'm like, here's my plan. This is what I've already established. I already told you that this is how I was going to plan it in our team meeting yesterday as well. That's the other thing. In our team meetings, she is constantly berating me over the smallest things in front of everyone. That is incredibly uncomfortable. Questioning my tactics, my strategies, everything that I'm doing to try to handle new problems that arise and situations that arise before I leave. I'm like, okay. And then it's just me having to be a happy, cheery person in those calls going, I understand that that's your perspective and how you would have handled that situation. But I believe that this is the next best way for me to do it because not only will I be at the lesson, I can make sure the coach has arrived. And at the end of the lesson, I can talk to the parent and student to make sure that they're satisfied with the training that they're getting and the teaching they're getting. So this is why I think this is the best approach, is that if I'm going to be there and all three people are going to be there, then that's the more effective approach than doing 3 separate phone calls. And she's like, yeah, but this needs to be handled right away. I'm like, I understand that. This observation in this class is happening tomorrow night. And I will be at that lesson ready to go to observe if the coach arrives. If the coach doesn't arrive, I'll talk to the parent and student and take over. I have a strategy and plan, and I'm looking forward to implementing it. I had to do that the whole meeting.
Right.
Because she just kept asking questions and berating me and telling me what she would do in the situation. I'm like, I understand. I completely get where you're coming from, but this is what I would like to do. And this is what I would like to try. If it does not work, I will use your method next week. Like, constantly, I had to repeat myself like 3, 4, 5 times in that
Right.
team meeting in front of everyone, which was just like awkward because I'm like, oh god, they're looking uncomfortable on the screen. They don't know what to say. They can't say anything, and I just get to sit there and defend myself over and over and over again with a situation that I clearly had handled.
Right.
And then in the one-to-one, for the last couple minutes, she's like, "And what's your plan to deal with this again?" And I was like, "As mentioned yesterday, this
As
is the
per our
strategy."
conversation yesterday.
I think I actually said, I'm like, as per our conversation yesterday, this is what the plan is, how I plan to implement it, and what will be done at tonight. And then it was funny because then the coach that I observed, she was actually there, and then she was mad at me for being there. She's
Really?
like, "You didn't tell me you were going to be here." And I was like, "Well, hi. First of all, how are you? I hope you enjoyed your trip to India. Have you seen my messages on Slack?" And she's like, "No, I don't look at Slack." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's a problem, first of all, because that's our main form of communication, which Galia and I have told you multiple times. So I need you to check those messages and respond in a timely manner, especially if you're leaving the country and did not tell us or the student or the parent." And I had to sit there and have this like weird like not we were on Zoom, we were on camera, but we were messaging each other in the chat.
Oh my
We
god.
weren't even both verbalizing it. And I was like, "Oh my god, what are we doing? Let's just unmute and talk about it."
Right.
But no, 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 no. And then the student came, so I'm like, "Oh, that's the end of that conversation. Okay, good. I'm gonna be here." And I just like unmuted.
Right.
I was like, "Hey," like to the student, "it's great to see you again. Are you alright if I hang out and just watch the class today?" And the student's like, "Yeah, I don't care." I'm like, "Okay." Well, I just want to make sure that everything's good, and I'm gonna just be observing things, and if you need anything, let me know in the chat. Okay, cool. And like, oh my god, her face though, the coach was just so like angry at me because I got the student's permission to be there, but not hers.
Right.
I was like, "Cool. All right, I'm gonna turn off my camera, and you guys can start. Have a good lesson." And then I did a formal observation and provided feedback and shared it with her after. So yeah, I don't think my coaches like me. Well, they don't have to deal with me much longer. 12 more days, that's it.
Right.
So, suck it. I'm not the one breaking all the policies. They are. So I have to be a little mean me and because Galia's on my back too, so I have to be a bit of a mean, strict boss lady.
Right. You gotta have to be like, hey, we gotta ask for our regulations.
And I was like, these are things that are very important to do and start doing regularly because you'll be receiving a new coaching coordinator in the near future. So please adhere to these policies as per written in your training manual.
Right.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I still have to do all these things and deal with her problems and deal with their problems. All the meanwhile, attending all these meetings where I get berated and talked down to
Right.
for 12 more days. Yep, and then I'll hopefully start teach and tutoring soon.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully September, and that will be okay. The only silver lining with all this is that I got a new tutoring job that pays me more per student. And surprisingly, I got a little bit of a severance pay. So I won't be totally fucked financially in September. I might just make it. I might be like just okay. But what that means is no, I can't really do anything on my birthday. Before my birthday. That's what that kind of means. I have to pinch pennies a little bit, be careful, and September 4th will just be a day. The plans I had to go to Calgary the week after to celebrate my birthday by watching a live show I would really love to go to.
Right.
I had set aside money for that and immediately couldn't use it. So I won't be going to do that live show or anything. So there's a lot of big loss, big change. Everything. Really been through it. And the only nice thing about therapy was just kind of trying to reframe a lot of it, that like this all wasn't my fault.
Right.
Yeah, just like it wasn't my fault. I was doing good at advocating for myself. I was putting in like boundary setting skills. I was doing everything right. It just the other people
Didn't make it right.
not only the other people didn't make it right, it was more of like, whoa, what is she doing? She's never done this before, and now she's all of a sudden doing this.
Right.
And like being angry that that I was using my voice in a way that was not what they wanted.
Right.
Because yeah, my therapist this morning basically reminded me that I've been basically a pushover in this
Uh,
role for months.
I know. And I was like, just hearing it. It's like finally using your voice because they could just think they could just use you like an intern.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been saying yes to everything, and when I finally put my foot down, going, actually, I will do this if you do this,
Right.
wasn't okay.
It was
And
just. It's like oh you're requesting that. It's like oh you have this problem, so I have to do something about it. And I'm just like, not even like again. I'm still miffed about the termination
mhm.
completely because it's like that's not how termination goes. Like, no. I mean, yeah, sure. Like she has the ultimate power because she owns it, but at the same time, it's just not fair at all. Like
Mhm.
not doing proper due diligence, like proper reviews or anything like that, and just finally placing that. No, all the compliments I got were complaints. It's like, well, you didn't pace it that way.
Yeah. Oh, and the other example she used on that meeting, I don't think I told you this, but you know how they did that one in-person events?
Mm-hmm.
But I told them that I would be doing a workshop that day, so I probably won't even make it to the end of the meeting. Like I won't be able to really make it to the event.
Right.
In the first place, I can try to make it to the end of the event, but I don't know if that's still valuable or not. And they're like,
Right.
"Yeah, try to make it. Do your best to make it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll try." And then like that week was a lot of bad stuff that happened, and I was like, "You know what? I'm not gonna go. I probably won't make it to the last 30 minutes, and I don't think it's worth it for a 3-hour event to come at the last 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's worth it. So I'm not gonna go." Like those are my reasons. Bad week at
Right.
work. Didn't want to see the parents that were there because they were all yelling at me that week.
Right.
And then plus by the time I like transited downtown, I would have basically missed the entire event. And then she brought that up in the meeting going like, and also the fact that you let the problems at work affect you and not show up to the event also told me that you're not growing or mature enough to handle this role. And I sat there going, I told you I was gonna miss like 3/4 of it anyway. And then
To
sure
other
enough,
events.
that day happened. By the time I would have made it to downtown, you guys were probably wrapping up. Like there was no way I could make it for like a good portion of the events.
Right.
So I didn't think it was worth it for me to go and make a short like 5-minute appearance. Like there was things out of my control. I was running a workshop. You guys didn't accommodate that for me. You guys chose the day despite knowing I was running a workshop that
Right.
day and couldn't be there for the full event. And so you're using that against me now because I had a pre-planned thing that I knew months in advance? What?
Right. It's like unless if I get paid enough, then I would have rescheduled the workshop. But you guys are not paying me enough to do that.
And that was the thing. I wasn't going to be paid to be there.
Then why bother?
Yeah.
Really, it's like if it's a work function to do a work event, I'm not doing it for free.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to do something for free, it'd be the hobby that I'm doing right now.
Oh, and then her justification for that would be like, well, then you could have accommodated your 20 hours per week to make it work. I'm like, for 15 minutes? What? So I had to work 19.75 hours
Right.
to make that work? How do you put that on the thing? You can't. You literally can't. On our little like time sheet thing.
Right.
So yeah, no, trust me, it's funny. Every time I think of a reason that I'm like, no wait, I can just hear her voice immediately in my head going like, but actually, here's all these reasons why, and it's in your job description. It's here, it's there. You should have known better. And it's just that's what I've been dealing with for weeks.
Right.
It's
I mean, again,
that.
it's like if for a lot of duties that you have that's supposedly on your on your description, no, it's like it's way above the pay grade. It's way above the pay grade.
Yeah.
It's like I'm looking at this. It's like, well, then just pay fairly. And knowing for anything, I have a gut feeling you're gonna probably pay this next coordinator fairly, so this doesn't happen again, because you didn't want to learn the lesson the first time.
Yeah, right. They're probably gonna hire a coordinator and like pay them like probably $3-4 extra an hour than I did.
It's like 25 hours, probably like full time too. So it's gonna be interesting when you
Probably.
train them. It'd be like, it's like, yeah, I got a full time job into this, 40 hours. It's crazy. I'm like, well, cool for you.
Yeah, that's the thing too. She keeps telling me that I have to train the incoming coaches that she's hiring. She hasn't done interviews yet.
Yeah,
So how am
she's
I
gonna
supposed
have.
to train them when
When
interviews haven't
there's
even been done yet?
right,
How am I supposed to train the person coming into my role when I only have 12 days left and she hasn't hired them yet?
right.
Have fun.
Have fun.
And I think that's also what she's realizing too. Like, she has to now reassign my students, and that's another task that she has to do because I no longer can
Right,
in this capacity because this role is ending.
right.
And I think that was the other part of the shock of me, like, not being a coach. It's just that realization going, like, crap, I just moved to New York. I start my master's program next week, and I have all of this to do because I'm leaving. AKA, and she fired me.
I mean, welcome to leading a business.
Right?
Your actions have consequences. I hope you realize that. Like, hello? There's no takebacks. If you came from university, there's no takebacks. This is this is life. We've already experienced this. You have fun dealing with it. That's what I said. Shit leader. I'm sorry, shit leader.
So that's
Shit leader, big ego. Like, that's it. That's all I'm giving. I'm sorry. And I would like to say I have a slightly big ego because I'm a team lead. Like, I know
well,
where to
you've
go.
been in a management position multiple times now. At
Oh
this
yeah,
point.
I have. Like,
So
cumulatively, I have almost 2 years.
yeah.
And I've been through the pushover stage. Like, I know what I need to do. And just hearing how it's done, it's just like, no. Just no. That's not how you lead
She's also
at
younger
all.
than we are too, right? By like 4 or 5 years. So that's the other added element to this too.
Well, she gets
She's
gonna
younger
have to
than
learn it the
me.
hard way. I'm sorry. There's
Yeah.
no takebacks. There is absolutely no takebacks. If she's gonna crawl it back to you, she just no.
No,
Actually, don't be a
promise you,
pushover.
August 31st, I'm blocking everything.
Yeah.
Blocking her from everything. Just fuck that.
It's like, yeah, have fun. It's like,
She really burnt bridges. As soon as you start, instead of having a healthy conversation about the things that I could have grown and worked on and improved upon, she
mhm.
chose to keep it all in and then verbally abuse me in a termination meeting.
Right. Again, I wouldn't say it's the proper way to do it. There's nothing illegal about it. It's just not proper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, again, can I bitch and moan and complain about it? Sure, yes, I will. Well, like, at least, like, that's my feedback. It's just like, that's not how you do it. There are stages in management that you have to deal with. Like, she actually needs to, I'm hoping she ends up taking management classes, because it's
She's
just
got
not
a
how you do
degree
it.
in business, so she should be fine apparently. And now she's doing her like master's in law. And she's been in Canada's top 30 under 30 like multiple times.
Right? So she should understand the basics of PM, like project management. And how to, like, actually give feedback to your
Yeah. Because
to
there
your
was
team members.
I'm like been analyzing everything since I've started in this like more of the the admin team role, not the coach role, the admin team role.
Right.
And I know there's a point earlier in the career where I asked her to provide feedback in a constructive way.
Right.
But she was very direct, and it was all negatives in our one-to-ones for like a good 2-3 months before I brought it up, going, hey, I want to let you know that, oh my god, bubbles. Gas bubbles. I let her know, like, hey, I want to give you some feedback. Oh my god, calm down, body.
Bubbly.
Someone do like gotta pound my chest to get all the bubbles out.
just like force yourself. Burp.
Try. But every time it wants to happen is when I'm talking. Rude. But I think I let her know like early on in my career, and I'm like, I wonder if this is why like she's never done constructive feedback with me. It's because I asked her to provide feedback in a more like sandwich method of like, here's something you've done well this week. There are a few things I would like you to work upon because of blah 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 reasons.
Right.
And this is what I've noticed. And then ending it with like but overall I can still see you're improving and working well.
Right.
That's sort of the approach I asked her if she wouldn't mind changing to the feedback, or even just dropping the third or the second positive thing and just doing like, Here are the things you've done well. Here are the things I would like you to improve upon and work on, and here's some action items.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of arrange it that way.
Right.
But since that meeting, it's all been, here's your action items, and thank you for doing all this, this, and this.
I mean...
So now I'm like, cool, I asked for a different approach to feedback. And now...
It's a different approach, but it's like now you're just missing out on the thing. It's like there's a time and a place to... Okay, I have to put this in a more exaggerative tone, so apologies, Violet, actually. It's
okay.
It's like there's a time and a place
okay, I've already
to try
cried
to...
in this, so it's fine.
If
this makes me cry again, cool.
No, I don't think so. You probably be a bit miffed, I'd say, more, but it's like there's a time and a place where you have to be slightly delicate. Not gonna lie, like changing the tone, changing the pattern of how to provide feedback. There goes my other light. But like there's a time and a place. I'm actually dealing that right now. Like one small update I can actually maybe provide as my team lead duties. I am dealing with issues with a team member I'm having right now, who is giving me a lot of pushback, not feedback, pushback. Well, okay, it's feedback, but I find it more of like you're really nitpicking it sort of thing. So, like, I still have to give this person the space, because they're coming from, like, they have been becoming a little bit more troubled, to say the least. Just the reaction to behavior and everything. Like, I needed to make sure that I'm not stepping on the wrong foot. Like, there's a time and a way to react, and then eventually, yes, you would have to put the foot down. I feel like she's not doing it the right way. Like the timing I think is kind of correct. It's just the procedure is just not correct at all. Like it could have been done so much better. Like there could have been, again, a time to have an extra meeting, a time to make sure that we're all on the right track. A time to provide the positives and still provide the negatives. Like there's like if someone is like being a little bit too touchy about it, sort of thing, take it back, but then once they seem like they're ready and they're on for it, continue to provide the feedback, like sort of thing. It's like, oh, I like that idea, but there's something missing here that I'm not seeing, sort of thing. Like giving that sort of like you still want to provide, like you still, like at least for her, she can still want to like go for a direction that she wants to go, because obviously she owns it, right? But at the same time, it's like make sure that it's clear, make sure that they understand it, like you understand it, and then still be open for any modifications, because not everything could be your way or the highway. There has to be compromise, always a compromise. That's how team building works. That's how management works. It's never your way. It's going to be everyone's way, and there will be a compromise, 100%. But if you can find a good compromise, you'll get to that direction, you'll get to that goal which you want to hit, personally too. So that's just my 2 cents in management. Like I've learned that hard way and the right way. So I'm hoping she learns out of this, but at the same time, if she continues down the road like this, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work out well.
I was surprisingly still a lot about her, and I was kind of worried that you were gonna pick on me a bit in some of that, and I'm wondering.
I thought I did.
You were.
Because I was like kind of like, I did a more of an over exaggerated example, but I don't know if it sounded like similar to you. So I was like, just in case if I offended you, I'm not. Like I'm going a little over exaggerated example.
Okay.
With it.
I don't know.
I thought I'll now that I think about it, it's like, yeah, I didn't really make fun of you ish, kind of, not really, sort of thing. Like I thought I would like try to think of a counterpoint, but I guess that didn't come out as a counterpoint per se.
Like I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's just It's I'm still gonna reel this in. Even gonna be a learning lesson for me just hearing how this went. I'm just like, I pray to God I'm not gonna be like her. Like, just no, I can't. That's just not right in many ways. So
Yep. Well, that's been my August.
oh. Hopefully the new job, new tutoring job will shed a new light, this sort of thing, shed a new path, and hopefully once the school season starts up again, we'll see where it goes, sort of thing. Hopefully it goes in a better path than what it is now.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, you were talking about some of those big questions about, like, the future and such.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking the same thing now as I'm getting closer to 29.
Right.
And I really have nothing fucking figured out.
Oh.
Yeah. We've got nothing figured out. God, talking about this was harder than I thought.
Oh, sorry. Damn, I can't see anything. Hello?
I was gonna say, it's super dark.
It is. I'm just like trying to flash high beams, but I see oncoming traffic and I don't want to blind them. There's so many people. Can I want to drive faster. Well, I can actually. Hold on a second. Go. Trying to speed up. I almost drift. Feels weird. I don't know what I did with my audio settings or if it's been an update, but I can hear drifting sounds and it's just weird.
Oh, wild.
Every time I like hard brake and turn, it's like, oh, I'm drifting. What the fuck? Hello. Like, I feel realism in this game now all of a sudden.
Well, didn't you say just before the stream that this game did update?
It did. I just don't remember if this was ever here before. Oh my god, I'm speeding. Oh, that's a... Yeah, I'm hearing all the sounds on my thing, and it's like, even while we're talking, I'm just like, wait, what is this? Oh, I'm skidding, what the fuck? It's like, I'm driving like a maniac. Fuck. Ooh. My wheels can't get a grip. There we go. Yeah, how far is this drive? Is it still this far? Oh my god. I chose a good trip to drive at night. I just hope I could speed it up. Let's go.
Going all the way to southern Spain?
Yeah, I'm going to... that's coming from all the way from Leon.
The lion.
To, I can't pronounce that.
Algeciras?
Algeciras.
Algeciras.
So I'm just driving down all of Spain. It would be great if it was daytime. Probably see like a little bit of the arid Spain plains. I don't know, actually. I think I remember just seeing it mostly. Ouch.
Oh my gosh. Oh my lordy.
It just like tries to brake and I cannot brake enough.
I'm trying to remember the landscaping between Malaga and Madrid, because you're kind of going through central Spain.
I am. I think
I don't
believe
remember
I'll
it
be
much.
going
I know the coast of Barcelona down to Granada very well.
Was that
of
in the
orange
section?
A
Oh.
lot of orange trees and hills and
Ooh.
some cool plants and flowers, but lots of
Right.
orange trees. Holy crap.
Like fruit trees, or is it just
Yeah, like the orange fruit trees, like just
Oh,
fields
wow.
of them. And then ocean. Well, not ocean. What is it called there? The streets.
Mediterranean. Oh, Gibraltar. Not Gibraltar.
No, not Gibraltar. Let me go to map. God, Canada, you're so big.
Okay, no.
The Balearic Sea.
Ooh.
So I guess it is like a little sea ocean.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Barcelona drive all the way down to like Valencia, then Alicante or Benidorm, Alicante, and then over to Granada. Where is Granada? Did I go to Malaga then Granada? Fuck.
I thought you did.
Where's my brain? Nope, Granada then Malaga. Because I went up into the mountains in Granada.
Oh.
And then I went to the ocean at Malaga.
And then you went around from there.
And then I went up to central Spain. You're going closer to Gibraltar.
Yeah, past exit 666 again. I'm going south, so that means I just missed it on this road before.
What's the
I'm
city going to again?
I'm going down to Madrid, I believe, from here, I think? Or at least
Oh, Algeciras. Yeah, you literally are going to the
So-
port to go to, like, Gibraltar.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, Gibraltar.
Oh, so that's where it is.
Yeah. You're, like, right across the little bay of Gibraltar.
Ah, okay.
That's cool.
I'm going through Seville.
Should have went by. It seems very, hilly. The plains really are from, like, Cordoba down to Antequera. Oh, yeah, you're closer to Seville, so
Yeah, I am
you're
close
really
to
going
Seville.
through plains. You would have went through the plains. Where's Leon? You're way the fuck up here. Leon! You would have went through a bit of the plains. Kind of.
I hope we can make it with this gas.
If you go to Seville, plains.
Oh, I'm definitely going through Seville.
Yeah, plains. Plains.
I wish I could see it, but it's dark as fuck.
Spain is beautiful. España es bonita.
Yes. So I'm just speeding down right now. Hoping that I'll make it.
Why is Haikyuu trending?
Why is
Haikyuu.
volleyball trending?
Haikyuu.
Oh, okay.
Must be a new episode or new season.
Oh.
Haikyuu. And then there's Women's World Cup soccer going on. Canada didn't last as long as I thought they would.
Aw.
Yeah, a little disappointing, but to be fair, our Women's Soccer Association has been fighting the government.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were not paid appropriately. They had not been paid at all since the last World Cup.
Still?
They got it mostly resolved. It's going to be paid out in a payment plan on top of what they're currently going through.
Oh, jeez.
But they're not 100% convinced
Right.
that that's actually going to happen.
I hope there's a gas station somewhere here. I am running out of gas. Thomas, gasoline. Oh, okay, fine. I actually have to exit for gasoline. God damn it. 222 kilometers. Can I make it? I should have exited the last exit then. Gasoline. Oh, that song's gonna stuck in my head now. God damn it.
I don't know what to talk about now.
I don't know either. I'm just trying to make it as fast as I can to get through here.
I love it. We're like trying to get. You're trying to go as fast as you can so we can just end the stream.
Kinda, yeah.
My bad, peeps.
That's good.
I opened my mouth and then everything got shitty. Yay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Burpee. Yep.
Just speed through here. Speed through Seville.
Bye, Seville.
Yeah, I made it through. Is that Popo?
Made
No,
it.
that's not the police.
I made
We're
it
good.
through the wilderness. And no
I don't care
one
if it says
made
80
it
kilometers an hour. I'm just gonna keep speeding through.
through. Didn't know how lost I was until I found you. Yeah, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Cannot lie.
Yes, do the whole Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party.
Oh my god.
The fact that I think I know it and memorized it is a telling sign of what kind of child I was.
Oh.
I think I always watched to the fucking bonus feature where that was playing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I made it through the wilderness. Na, 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 na. I know I made it through. Didn't know how lost I was. Let's actually test myself, shall we? Till I found you. Yeah, I like big butts and I cannot lie. To others can't deny. When a girl walks in with a pretty little face and a warm thing in your face, you get feelings. That's why it's fun to stay at the YMCA.
I forgot about this, honestly.
YMCA.
I'm just remembering it now. It's like, wait, I
Do
do
you
recognize this.
really wanna hurt me? Oh! Do you really wanna make me cry, 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 cry? Staying alive, staying alive. Ho, 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 ho. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who? And then say, get up and dance to the music. Okay, I memorized most of it, and it's like, oh yeah, dance to the music. Everybody now, dance to the music. Shrek, I can't hear you. Dance to the music.
I slowly remember this now.
I think that's most of it. I know there's a little bit more after that I don't know how it goes. Because there's something about like, let's ride, Sally, ride. Break it down, little girl. Dum, dum, bum, 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 bum. God, now I want to look this up.
It has to be on YouTube.
Should we? What should I just type? Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party?
Yes.
Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party.
Car, are you
yeah.
okay? Stop switching lanes.
Fuck yeah, let's go, baby. Oh god, Grammarly commercial.
Grammarly.
Oh, I love that scene in Shrek 2. I'm accidentally in love. It's a good song. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh god. No, it started right away. I gotta do this. And welcome to the Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party. I'm gonna take things down a little bit with one of my personal favorites. Don't go changing. Try and please me. Never let me down before. Mm-hmm. Through the wilderness. No, didn't know that was until I found you. Yeah, I like big butts and I cannot lie. You others can't deny. When a girl like you, baby, then I'm pain in your face, you get feelings. It's gonna stay at the YMCA. The YMCA.
Ooh, it's dark.
I don't know. They get it dance. Oh yeah. We need a beat. Yeah. Like Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that that's how it ended. I was like, "Hey Pinocchio, you want to watch that? Want to watch where that nose, man?" Something like that. Oh man, it's
What a
been a
time.
while. I just love doing the gingerbread man one parts. He's the best. Where are you at? No, you're still driving.
I'm still driving. I'm almost there. I just passed
Cool.
Seville.
Karaoke. Fuck it. I gotta find good karaoke songs though. What's a
Driving.
happy song? Help.
Wow, was the first thing that popped in my head was Happy by Pharrell Williams. That's funny. I hate it.
Dude, Taylor Swift. The first thing that popped up was Style by Taylor Swift. I don't know if I actually know the lyrics to that whole song. I know most of it. Because I know it's based off of Harry Styles. I know
That's
way
what's
too many
called
things.
style.
Yeah! Sorry. Wait. Like, yeah, good job. Brownie points.
Oh shit, that's gonna turn off. Come on, Trick. Come on, Trick. Come on, Trick. Buzz fuck you.
Commercials
Buzz
for
fuck you.
Walmart. Oh yeah. You got that James Dean daydream look in your eyes.
Alright, is that one?
It doesn't start that way. It takes a little bit. There's actually an intro
Right.
for her song.
Yeah, yeah. Intro verses.
Midnight, you can back me up, no headlights. A long drive could end in burning flames or paradise. Love this. Oh, it's been a while since I have even heard from you. And I should just tell you to leave, because I know exactly where it leads, but I watch us like go round and round each time. You got that. That's all the song I know. That's it.
Yes.
I realized after this point, I'm like, oh, I don't know anything else.
I was like, from here, I'm questioning it.
Ooh, do I know enough of Enchanted? Nope. Oh, Wildest
okay.
Dreams is a happy one. I love him doing all 1989 songs.
I know, right?
Taylor's version, October 27th.
It's crazy how, like, okay. It's crazy how, like, short those albums are coming out between her last remaster and this one.
She did that with Red and the other one. There's two albums that she remade really quickly back to back. Then took a long pause, and then now it's back to, like, she took a long pause to write Midnights.
Mm-hmm.
And then now she's doing back to back, and so people are thinking there's gonna be another long pause because there's a there's a Disney Plus documentary or Netflix documentary coming out with her about the Eras tour.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we got Speak Now. We're gonna get. It's funny though. So we get Speak Now, and then we're gonna get 1989, right?
Mm-hmm.
What 2 albums are left for her to save? She needs to now save her reputation and her name.
Ooh.
Cool, hey?
Dang,
Yeah,
she really
she
thought
did
this
it.
out.
Oh, it's so good.
She really thought that one out.
Okay, should I try Wildest Dreams?
Yes.
Oh, that's a really high pitchy one though.
Wild dreams.
Maybe not. Let's do Antihero. No, You Belong With Me. Fuck it.
You belong with. Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, it should be 22. I wish I was 22. But
22.
oh my god, the next song in my queue is Bet on It. High School Musical.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, I got the actual music video. Oh, let's see how much I remember the lyrics of You Belong With Me without the lyrics. Let's go!
Oh boy.
You're on the phone, and your girlfriend, she's upset. She's going off about something that you said. She doesn't get your humor like I do. I'm in the typical day night, listening to the kind of music she doesn't like. I'll never know your story like I do. She wears short hair, and t-shirt. She's confident on the preacher. Dreaming of the day when you wake up and find what you're looking for. 'Cause been here the whole time. You belong with me. You are worn out, but now I can't tell it. I'm too deep. Another perfect man. Yes, I know. All the time. I'll put you in Jesus. Dream of the day when you wake up. Catch him up. Me. Step and at your back door all the be with me, along with me. Oh, here we go. Oh, it was in my house and night. It's with me. Just gosh, she's so pretty. You belong to me.
Hey,
Yeah. Oh, you're done now, shit.
I am done now.
Wow. But more Taylor. More Taylor. I can't believe I still know that song quite well.
It's a good 10-plus-year-old song, so.
Yeah, baby. You belong with me. Right, Mitzi, you belong with me.
Hey.
Oh, he's just passed the fuck out. He's all like, I'm done with you.
It's like you should go to sleep too.
Sure. You think that'll happen easily?
Especially if you drink that Sprite.
No, I actually have barely drank it. I was using it as a microphone.
Oh.
I'm gonna put it in the fridge for tomorrow.
It's
Same
like
with the
how-
bubbly.
Oh yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah. Just maybe.
I also built a nice, pretty keyboard that has lights, but I can't turn it on because it's not plugged in. I wanna probably change this though. As much as I love the bass, it kind of doesn't match it, so I'm gonna try and find a new board. Also, some of these keycaps doesn't match with it because some of them don't fit correctly, so I have to use keycaps from another keyboard.
my
I'm
God.
just like, it works. It's a bit Frankenstein, but it works.
Yeah.
Keyboard.
You belong with me.
You belong with me. Oh. Oops.
Try not to sing challenge. Yo. Oh, it's only 12 minutes long. That's not that easy. Not that hard. Oh, but now I want to sing it because it's all short clips. Oh, the first song is Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. That's a good one.
Ooh.
Do you know that song?
Sounds familiar.
It's
Name's
like,
familiar.
save your tears for another day.
Oh, I think it's coming back to me now.
Oh God, that's cruel. They had that nice song like Save Your. This is cruel, Daryl. It's all sad songs. Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. The next one is See You Again. Wiz Khalifa. Charlie
Oh
Puth.
God, why?
Tell you all about it when I see you again. Yeah, I lose every time. The song gets me. Every time. Oh my God, no. I must resist Uptown Funk. Oh, I can't make a dragon wanna retire. Man, I'm too hot. Hot damn. Oh, I don't like this song. It's creepy. Mockingbird by Eminem.
Which was that one? Don't sing it. I'm trying to remember it.
Oh, they put Flowers by Miley Cyrus on this. This is a new video then. Holy shit.
Yeah, that has to be if the Flowers is on there.
We did this in karaoke when you were
Alright,
here.
you want me to show it?
No.
Aww.
Torture. Oh, I don't want a commercial for laundry soap. I don't know the song. Do you know a song called Another Love by Tom Odell?
What?
Yeah, I don't know that song. Never mind. Oh no, Daryl.
What?
Guess what song's after this one?
What? Give me a hint.
You'll see in like 3 seconds. Despacito.
Oh boy, Despacito.
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 Don't know the song. Dilemma by Nelly and Kelly Rowland. Nope.
It sounds familiar, actually.
Ooh, Calm Down with Selena Gomez and Rema. It's a good one. But of course they picked the Rema's part, not Selena's part, so I don't know this one.
Nice.
Off the top of my head. Ooh, yeah, Shakira.
Which one?
Visa Rap. It's her song that cuts out, or that's cut down PK.
Oh.
Oh, they picked the worst part of the song to play though. I like the part where it's like, someone's like, and me suplique. Anyway.
Damn.
Oh. Uh-oh.
That's how, because that's how you sing it, Daryl. Carry my, the way can read in my poker face. She don't like nobody.
I'm ready for dark horse. Anyway. Oh, work, you have me suicidal,
Oh, that's a
suicidal.
good
Say,
song. It's
over,
over,
damn
damn
all
all
you beautiful girls. Yes, oh, that was good. Oh, we did the song at karaoke. Karaoke. Let me get to it. Oh, rolling in the deep.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe
last
I made
song.
you sing this at the very last song before
I
midnight.
know, right?
Played. I don't take my body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Mhm. I'm in love with the shape of you, and I wanna make it too.
There we go.
Oh, we sing this at karaoke too. Damn, got a good pick here.
It's like they knew.
Yeah, okay. I'm feeling out the way, thinking about
Thinking about the things that we could be, but
baby,
baby, I've been praying hard. I'm counting dollars, we'll be counting stars.
I'm in love with a star boy. Oh, I didn't know that this is what this was. I'm single, anytime. Oh, I don't know how the song goes, but I just know like make me wanna cry. Oh my god, this is old. Are you ready for this song?
I'm scared.
Oh, it's old and very inappropriate. Oh, I'm sorry, Twitch. Smack that out on the floor, smack that. Give me some
Oh, that's a good
smack
one.
that. When you get sore, smack that. Oh, oh, smack that. Oh, I miss Akon, man.
Akon was good.
Super good. And it's getting hot at the body shop, doing something unholy. You can't find when she's cooking it. She'll be cooking it. Gonna put it down slowly. Oh, oh. Okay. Do you know Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim Petras?
That sounds familiar.
It was all over TikTok for the longest time. Holy shit.
I see.
She'll be cooking it. She'll put it down slowly. Oh, oh. Oh, that song. And when it starts to snow, only know you.
Oh, that is
Oh,
that song.
God, what is up with this music playlist? There's so many sad ones, but also good ones.
Right?
Bad romance. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, caught in a bad romance. Oh, caught in a bad romance.
That was a good combo. David Guetta and maybe Rexa. Good combo.
Ooh.
I have an ad for the bank. Sorry, y'all. This is not exciting.
Anything but the
Oh,
bank.
another 1989 song. Are you ready for this?
Oh boy.
Never art to down away. So fix love. But I got a blank face, baby, and I'll write your name.
Oh,
Tonight, on my hips, I'm trying for you. That's maybe see. Hey, girl, I can see your body move. Okay, I'm good. It's the lie. I got it. Oh, this is a good song. Freaking me out. I've been freaking me out. I'm fighting about you. It's been freaking me out. Did I sing Stressed Out? Oh, I did other 21 Pilots. Stressed Out's good. To the good old days. When my mama sang. Stressed Out. The anthem of my August.
Oh.
Hey, it's the new red shirt. Oh, we just did oh, this song. I hear it's so high. No sugar. We wanna get on the floor. Na, 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 na. We're gonna get on the floor. Watch this movie. Remember the movie it's called? Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Ooh.
We love you. Okay. That listen, babes. Oh, it's the perfect Ghost by yesterday. Oh shit! It's Bon Jovi. Damn.
Damn.
I'm thankful, thankful. I'm living my life. It's like I am it. If we get the message at the top, I can move from the again. Moving tell me where is the love? That's sexy song. Sexy song. Are you ready?
Oh boy.
Stupid ad. Oh. It's true. Oh my God. I should be back. Interesting. I don't know who that, but other by Megan Trainor. But not very well. Told you. Told you I would be here forever. Said I would not be a friend. Throw it out, stick it out to the end. You could stand under my umbrella.
Ella, 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 eh, eh, eh.
Under my. Oh, I have hiccups now. Why do the hiccups have to hurt?
Oh,
A little mini fist punching me. It's like, eh.
just a burp.
You and I need to do this off stream. This
Yeah.
one.
Oh boy.
I found the early 2000s.
Oh boy, yeah, we would have to do that. Or on our after
Actually,
the
it's
stream.
actually a longer video.
Oh really?
It's a whole 15 minutes long.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
I don't know if they want to see another 15 minutes of just trying to attempt to do this and then eventually get copyrighted at the end.
Yeah. And I have really bad hiccups right now, so I need a break anyway.
Alright. Well, with that, try your best to say everything.
Okay,
Here we go.
I have things.
You have things.
That's it. No, I'm kidding. I have a YouTube channel that has done nothing, and I promise I will do something maybe.
It's okay, get
So
this back.
subscribe and prepare, because I really want to get back into Danganronpa World. Now that I own all games, I want to do it.
Oh.
Twitter, I have that. Lots of updates there, lots of things there. Go, yeah.
Yep.
Tiki Talks, I have a couple new ones that I need to post, so follow me on the Tiki Talks. And I have a coffee. Life is, this is Broke Girl Summer and Broke Girl Birthday. So if you want to send me some love, coffee is the way to my heart, always. So there's my coffee.
Hey.
And then also, a big thing coming up here is Me Extra Life. I'm $50 away from the silver medal, so if you want to help me out and donate to charity,
Yes.
help me out and get the silver medal. All the proceeds go directly to my local children's hospital. They need it more than ever. They're working really hard with our local government to build a new hospital. So all the finances from this fundraising campaign are going directly to that.
Yeah.
So please help out.
Yeah.
That's me.
almost there. Get that. We can definitely get to that 500. Woo.
Yeah.
And then as for me, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Nice. Hit that subscribe button down below. If you're watching this on Twitch, hit that YouTube. The links they're gonna be showing up out here on the top right. I still been meaning to post videos. Honestly, it's just that life has been hectic. So one day, eventually, I'll get to post those up videos. But hopefully, I'll be able to kind of complement that with these Truck Talk VODs, so you can always see where I'm coming from, where I've been, and all that fun stuff and whatnot. Hey, poop. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see any updates or shit posts or whatnot. Hopefully you like all the shit posts and stuff I like, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. So go follow me there. And from time to time I do post some pretty photos on Instagram. Again, I probably should upload some photos in there as well. But if you want, follow me on Instagram to see those pretty photos.
Yes.
It's been a hot while, but again, thank you, Dragon, again, for being such an amazing trip of a guest as always.
I don't know if you can call me an amazing guest tonight, but I was here.
You were here. You gave some entertainment at the very end, so it's still amazing nonetheless.
Ooh la la la. Yes.
Yes. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Hope you guys have a great weekend if you're watching this live. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week if you're watching this on the VODs. And we'll see you guys hopefully next time. I think I'll be streaming next week. I don't know. I don't think I have anything else going on per se. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week for some more Truck and Talk.
Yay.
That is Dragon over there, and this is Spell Mates picking my booger.
Bye.